Life feels heavier these days, doesn't it? The constant pull of responsibilities, the endless stream of notifications, and the whirlwind of thoughts that never seem to pause. It's like your mind is a crowded room, buzzing with noise that you can't escape. Even when the world around you is quiet, there's still that restless chatter inside, replaying yesterday, dreading tomorrow, or wrestling with things you can't change. You've probably caught yourself wondering if calm is even possible anymore. Here's the truth. It is. Throughout history, people have faced chaos far greater than what we encounter today. Empires have risen and fallen, wars have raged, and individuals have navigated unimaginable personal challenges. Yet, in the midst of these storms, there were those who found calm, not by retreating from life, but by learning to live with clarity and intention. Their secret wasn't magic or circumstance. It was a mindset, a philosophy, a way of being. Stoicism is more than just ancient wisdom. It's a lifeline for anyone who feels overwhelmed by the noise of the modern world. It's about finding peace, not by waiting for life to stop being difficult, but by changing how you approach it. The world won't suddenly become easier. People won't stop being unpredictable, and challenges won't magically disappear. But what can change is the way you meet them. There's a story about a man named Aidan, who, like many of us, felt buried under the weight of life. His career was demanding, his personal life felt chaotic, and his thoughts seemed to spin in circles every waking moment. He constantly worried about what others thought of him, whether he was doing enough, and what would happen if everything fell apart. His mind was like a stormy sea, tossing him from one worry to the next, leaving him drained and directionless. One evening, as he scrolled through his phone, he stumbled upon a quote that stopped him in his tracks. "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." It was simple, yet profound. For the first time, Aidan considered the possibility that the chaos in his life wasn't entirely about what was happening to him, but about how he was responding to it. The next day, he decided to dig deeper. He picked up a book about Stoic philosophy and started reading during his lunch breaks. It wasn't an instant transformation. There were no light bulb moments or dramatic epiphanies. But slowly, piece by piece, he began to apply what he learned. When someone at work criticized him unfairly, he paused. Instead of letting anger or defensiveness take over, he asked himself, "Is this worth my peace?" The answer was no. He let it go. When he found himself consumed with anxiety about the future, he reminded himself of what the Stoics taught. Focus on what's in your control and let go of what isn't. Each day he took small steps. He practiced gratitude for the little things, a kind word from a friend, the warmth of the sun on his face, or the quiet moments before sleep. He started journaling, reflecting on his day, and considering how he could respond better to life's challenges. Bit by bit, the storm inside him began to calm. What made Aidan's story remarkable wasn't that he had fewer problems or that life became easier for him. It was that he stopped letting those problems dictate his inner world. He realized that while he couldn't control everything happening around him, he could always control how he chose to meet it. And this is the same truth that can change your life. Every day, you face countless moments where you give away your peace. Moments where you let someone else's words, the weight of your to-do list, or the endless stream of what-ifs rob you of your calm. But what if you didn't? What if, instead of reacting, you chose to respond? What if, instead of chasing after a peace that always feels out of reach, you learned to create it within yourself? The answer lies in shifting your focus. The Stoics teach us that peace doesn't come from controlling the world. It comes from mastering ourselves. It's not about suppressing emotions or pretending problems don't exist. It's about understanding that true calm isn't the absence of struggle. It's the ability to face life with clarity and strength. Imagine waking up each day with a steady mind, unshaken by the noise around you. Picture yourself navigating challenges with grace, knowing that while you can't control everything, you can always control how you choose to move forward. That's the power of calming your mind. But this journey isn't about perfection. You'll still have moments where you feel overwhelmed, where frustration creeps in, or where anxiety tugs at you. And that's okay. The goal isn't to never feel these things. It's to learn how to let them pass through you without taking over. Think of it like standing in the middle of a river. The current may be strong, the water may be cold, but you don't have to let it sweep you away. You can plant your feet firmly on the ground and let the water flow around you. That's the essence of inner calm. Not fighting the current, but learning to stand steady within it. And here's the best part. This isn't some lofty ideal reserved for philosophers or monks. It's practical, and it's something you can start right now. With small, deliberate actions, you can begin to calm your mind and transform the way you experience life. Start by asking yourself one simple question when faced with stress or conflict. Is this within my control? If it is, focus on what you can do. If it isn't, let it go. This single shift can create a ripple effect in your life, bringing clarity and peace where there was once chaos. Take a moment each day to reflect on what went well and what you can improve. Breathe deeply when emotions feel overwhelming. Express gratitude for the small joys that so often go unnoticed. These aren't grand gestures. They're quiet, steady steps toward a calmer mind. The world will never stop being noisy. Challenges will keep coming, and life will remain unpredictable. But within you is a space of stillness, waiting to be nurtured. It's not something you have to find. It's something you create. So, take that first step. Start small. And remember, calm isn't a destination. It's a way of being. And it's entirely within your reach. The introduction to calming the mind has laid a foundation. Peace is possible, but it begins with the way we approach life. Now, we dive into one of the most essential practices for finding that peace, the ability to live fully in the present. This isn't about fleeting mindfulness exercises or cliches about living in the moment. This is about a profound, life-changing shift in perspective rooted in timeless wisdom. What keeps us from embracing the present is often the weight of two things: regret over the past and anxiety about the future. The past haunts us with what-ifs and should-haves, while the future grips us with its endless uncertainties. Yet neither truly exists in the now. The only moment you have any influence over is this one, right here. Every thought, every action, and every emotion you experience exists only in the present. This is where life happens, and learning to fully occupy this space transforms not just your mind, but your entire being. The Stoics understood that the past and future often distract us from the gifts and responsibilities of the present. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "Confine yourself to the present." These words are simple, yet carry the weight of profound truth. Dwelling on what is beyond your grasp robs you of the power you have now, the power to live well, think clearly, and act virtuously. To focus on the present, it's essential to release the grip of regret. Regret is a thief that steals energy meant for growth and self-improvement. Dwelling on mistakes doesn't change them, it magnifies them, turning them into immovable barriers. But mistakes are not obstacles, they are lessons, signposts of what not to repeat. When you view the past as a teacher, regret transforms into gratitude for the lessons learned. The pain, once attached to those mistakes, loses its sting because you're no longer fixated on what you cannot change. Instead, your energy shifts toward becoming better today. Letting go of the future's uncertainties is another cornerstone of living in the present. Anxiety about what might happen tomorrow or next year often stems from overestimating the control we have. The Stoics teach that the future is shaped by how we live now, moment by moment. Worrying about outcomes accomplishes nothing but mental exhaustion. It's like running a race without taking a single step forward. What will happen is not entirely yours to decide, but how you act now is entirely within your power. This focus on the present is liberating because it reminds you that your strength lies in what you do today. Mindfulness is a tool to sharpen this focus. However, mindfulness isn't just about quieting the mind. It's about fully engaging with whatever you're doing. When washing dishes, feel the warmth of the water on your hands. When walking outside, notice the texture of the ground beneath your feet. These small practices anchor your awareness, teaching your mind to stay where your body is. The mind naturally wants to wander, but through practice, you can train it to remain steady. Over time, this presence spills over into all aspects of life, enriching even the most mundane tasks. Another critical element of living in the present is gratitude. When you consciously appreciate what's before you, the mind becomes less preoccupied with what's missing. Gratitude isn't just a feeling, it's a discipline. It requires you to pause and acknowledge what is good and meaningful in this very moment. Whether it's the warmth of sunlight, the sound of laughter, or the simple act of breathing, gratitude reorients your mind toward the abundance around you. This practice reduces mental clutter and opens your heart to the joy of the now. Living in the present also calls for courage. Facing life as it unfolds, without hiding behind distractions or numbing yourself with busyness, takes bravery. It requires you to feel your emotions fully, whether they're comfortable or not, and to confront the reality of your circumstances. This courage isn't about suppressing difficult feelings, but meeting them with honesty. When you stop avoiding what is, you can start responding to it with clarity and wisdom. Relationships provide another powerful opportunity to practice presence. Conversations often slip into surface-level exchanges because our minds are elsewhere, thinking about what to say next, judging what's being said, or simply drifting away. To be present with someone means listening deeply, not just to their words, but to their emotions and intentions. It's about showing up fully, offering your attention as a gift. This level of presence strengthens bonds, fosters trust, and creates connections that are deeply fulfilling. The physical body is another gateway to the present. Your body exists only in the now. It cannot dwell on the past or anticipate the future. By connecting with it, you bring your mind into alignment with the present moment. Practices like mindful breathing, yoga, or even stretching help ground your awareness in the here and now. These physical anchors are simple yet profoundly effective tools for cultivating presence. One of the greatest challenges in living in the present is the constant pull of distractions. Technology, social media, and endless notifications keep us tethered to external stimuli. The Stoics didn't have smartphones, but their advice applies. Guard your attention as you would guard a precious resource. Attention is the currency of the present moment, and spending it wisely is the key to a calm mind. Set boundaries around your use of technology. Create moments of quiet in your day and reclaim your focus from the noise. Another layer of presence is embracing impermanence. The Stoics often reflected on the fleeting nature of life, not to create despair, but to deepen appreciation. Everything you experience, the good, the bad, and the mundane, will pass. This understanding sharpens your awareness and allows you to savor what you have right now. Instead of clinging to moments or dreading their loss, you learn to flow with life, appreciating its transient beauty. When you practice living in the present, you also cultivate resilience. Life will always bring challenges, but presence equips you to face them with strength. When your mind is grounded in the now, you're less likely to react impulsively or be overwhelmed by fear. Instead, you can respond thoughtfully, with a clear mind and steady heart. This responsibility is the cornerstone of inner peace. Living fully in the present doesn't mean ignoring the future or forgetting the past. It means relating to them in healthier ways. The past becomes a source of wisdom rather than a prison. The future becomes a space of possibility rather than dread. And the present becomes the only place where life truly unfolds. This is where you reclaim your power, by choosing to live here and now, fully and intentionally. In each moment lies an opportunity to practice presence, whether it's in the way you breathe, the way you listen, or the way you move through your day. You have countless chances to anchor yourself in the now. The more you do this, the more you'll find that the noise of the world fades, and the peace you've been seeking emerges naturally from within. Peace isn't something distant or unattainable. It's here, waiting for you in the present moment. When you commit to mastering the art of living in the now, you begin to unlock the calm and clarity that have always been within your reach. This is where your journey to a calmer mind truly begins. Living fully in the present reveals a powerful truth. So much of the peace we seek lies in our ability to release what weighs us down. Yet, even as we learn to ground ourselves in the moment, one challenge remains persistent: the struggle with control. The human mind has an almost instinctive urge to grip tightly onto things that are inherently beyond its influence. We feel the need to direct outcomes, change people, and prevent the unexpected, often at the expense of our own inner calm. Detachment offers a way out, not through indifference, but by teaching us to let go of the illusion of control. Detachment is not about abandoning responsibility or withdrawing from life. It's about releasing the mental and emotional burden of things that cannot be changed or governed by your will. The wisdom of detachment lies in understanding what is truly yours to influence and what is not. The Stoics referred to this as the dichotomy of control, a principle that has the power to transform your mental landscape. The simple act of categorizing your concerns, those within your control and those outside it, can dramatically reduce unnecessary stress. This practice trains the mind to stop wasting energy on the uncontrollable and refocus it on what truly matters. Consider the everyday frustrations we all face: traffic jams, long lines, rude remarks from strangers. These moments are ripe with opportunities to practice detachment. Instead of letting these external events stir irritation or anger, you can step back and remind yourself that they are not within your power to change. The car in front of you won't move any faster because you're fuming, and the stranger's rude comment won't magically disappear because you dwell on it. Detachment helps you conserve your emotional energy for things that align with your values and goals. In relationships, detachment becomes even more vital. People are complex, unpredictable, and beyond your control. Trying to change others or make them act in ways that suit your preferences often leads to frustration and conflict. Detachment here means allowing others to be as they are while maintaining your own emotional balance. This doesn't mean you don't care. It means you respect their autonomy and focus on how you choose to respond. You are responsible for your actions and reactions, not for the behavior of others. This shift in perspective fosters healthier relationships, free from the strain of unrealistic expectations. Another area where detachment proves liberating is in dealing with outcomes. The constant striving for specific results can tie your emotional state to events you have little control over. Whether it's a career ambition, a financial goal, or a personal project, attaching your happiness to the outcome sets you up for disappointment. Detachment allows you to give your best effort while accepting that the result may not always align with your desires. This mindset not only reduces anxiety, but also helps you approach challenges with clarity and resilience. The pursuit of control often stems from fear of failure, rejection, or loss. Detachment doesn't eliminate these fears, but it changes your relationship with them. Instead of resisting fear, you acknowledge it without letting it dictate your actions or emotions. By detaching from the need to control outcomes, you free yourself from the grip of fear and find the courage to move forward despite uncertainty. Detachment also applies to possessions and material desires. The more we cling to things, the more power they have over us. The Stoics taught that true wealth lies in needing less, not having more. When you detach from the need for material validation, you discover a deeper sense of freedom. Possessions become tools rather than symbols of status or self-worth. This shift not only simplifies life, but also strengthens your ability to adapt to change or loss. One of the most profound aspects of detachment is learning to let go of past grievances and future anxieties. Holding on to resentment or regret keeps you tied to events that no longer exist, while obsessing over future uncertainties pulls you away from the present. Detachment isn't about forgetting. It's about releasing the emotional hold these thoughts have over you. By practicing detachment, you reclaim your mental space for peace and growth. Detachment doesn't mean living without passion or care. It means engaging with life fully, but without being consumed by it. You can love deeply, work hard, and pursue your dreams while understanding that the ultimate outcome is not entirely in your hands. This balance is the essence of inner freedom, caring without clinging, striving without obsessing, and living without fear of losing. The practice of detachment begins with awareness. Pay attention to where your energy goes. Are you consumed by things beyond your control? Are you clinging to outcomes or expectations? Once you recognize these patterns, you can begin to shift them. Start by asking yourself simple questions. Is this something I can control? Is my reaction helping or harming me? What would happen if I let this go? These reflections pave the way for a calmer, more focused mind. Cultivating detachment also requires patience and consistency. Like any skill, it takes time to develop. You may find yourself slipping back into old habits of control or attachment, and that's okay. Detachment is not about perfection, but progress. Each time you choose to let go, even in small ways, you strengthen your ability to detach in more significant areas of life. A practical exercise to develop detachment is the use of mental rehearsal. Visualize situations where you often feel the need to control, perhaps a difficult conversation or an uncertain outcome. In your mind, Practice responding with detachment. See yourself releasing the need for a specific result, staying calm regardless of the circumstances. This mental rehearsal trains your mind to respond differently when similar situations arise in reality. Another helpful practice is gratitude. Gratitude shifts your focus from what you lack or fear losing to what you already have. By appreciating the present moment and the people and opportunities in your life, you naturally loosen your grip on the need for more or better. Gratitude and detachment go hand in hand, reinforcing a mindset of abundance and resilience. Detachment is also a profound teacher of humility. It reminds you that the universe is vast and that your role, while significant, is not central to its workings. This perspective doesn't diminish your worth. It enhances your ability to accept life's unpredictability with grace. By aligning your expectations with reality, you reduce the friction between what is and what you wish it to be. Detachment creates space for joy. When you're no longer consumed by what you can't control, you have more room for what truly matters: meaningful connections, creative pursuits, and moments of stillness. This space allows you to experience life more fully and authentically, without the constant pressure of trying to direct its course. The journey of detachment is deeply personal. It's not about adopting a rigid philosophy, but about discovering what works for you. Some people find strength in meditation, others in journaling or quiet reflection. The key is to experiment and find practices that resonate with your unique needs and challenges. Detachment doesn't eliminate struggle, but it changes how you engage with it. It's not about escaping life, but about embracing it with a lighter heart and clearer mind. By letting go of what you can't control, you gain the freedom to focus on what you can, to act with purpose, to love without fear, and to live with peace. This freedom is the true power of detachment. Detachment creates the space for clarity and peace, but it's within that space that self-awareness begins to take root. The ability to step back from what you can't control prepares you for one of the most transformative practices of Stoicism: daily reflection. This isn't about dwelling on your day with a critical eye or reliving regrets. It's about pausing, reviewing, and learning in a way that fosters growth and helps you let go of what no longer serves you. Reflection is where self-awareness is born, and through it, a deeper understanding of your actions, thoughts, and feelings emerges. Daily reflection is more than just a habit. It's a dialogue with yourself, a chance to realign with your values and recalibrate your path. It's where you hold up a mirror to your day, not to criticize, but to assess with honesty and care. The Stoics believed that without self-awareness, progress is impossible. Marcus Aurelius, one of Stoicism's greatest teachers, wrote extensively about his reflections, not for an audience, but for his own guidance. His meditations served as a tool for clarity, helping him lead with purpose in the face of immense challenges. The process begins with asking questions. What went well today? What could I have done better? Where did I let emotions, distractions, or external pressures lead me astray? These questions aren't about finding fault, but about seeking understanding. Reflection isn't about judgment, it's about growth. When approached with kindness, it becomes a powerful tool for self-improvement. One of the most valuable aspects of reflection is its ability to reveal patterns. The mind, left unchecked, tends to follow the same paths day after day. Without awareness, these patterns can become habits, and not all habits serve us well. Through reflection, you start to notice these recurring behaviors, perhaps a tendency to procrastinate, react defensively, or avoid certain responsibilities. Once you see these patterns clearly, you can begin to change them. Reflection also helps to clear the mental clutter that accumulates throughout the day. The thoughts, worries, and unresolved emotions you carry with you can feel like a heavy backpack, weighing you down. By taking time to reflect, you unpack that backpack. You sort through its contents, deciding what to keep, what to address, and what to let go of. This process creates mental clarity, making space for more intentional living. Another important aspect of reflection is accountability. It's easy to drift through life, blaming circumstances or others for where we fall short. But reflection turns your gaze inward, asking you to take responsibility for your choices. It's a gentle but firm reminder that while you can't control everything, your actions and reactions are yours alone. This accountability isn't meant to be harsh. It's empowering. It reminds you of the agency you hold in shaping your life. Reflection also provides an opportunity to reconnect with your values. Life moves quickly, and it's easy to lose sight of what truly matters. By reflecting on your day, you assess whether your actions align with your principles. Did you act with kindness, patience, or courage? Did you stay true to your priorities, or were you swayed by distractions or impulses? This alignment is essential for living a meaningful and fulfilling life. The practice of reflection can also help you let go of the small irritations and frustrations that tend to linger. When you reflect, you see these moments for what they are, temporary and often inconsequential. The comment that annoyed you, the mistake you made, the plan that didn't go as expected, reflection helps you release their hold on your mind. It reminds you that these moments are not the sum of your day, nor do they define you. Evening reflection is particularly powerful because it allows you to close your day with intention. The quiet of the evening creates a natural space for introspection, a time when distractions fade and the mind turns inward. By reflecting at the end of the day, you set the tone for the next. You learn from what has passed and prepare yourself to meet tomorrow with greater clarity and purpose. To make reflection a consistent practice, it's helpful to establish a ritual. This could be as simple as sitting with a journal and writing down a few thoughts, or taking a quiet moment to think before bed. The format doesn't matter as much as the consistency. What's important is creating a space where reflection becomes a natural part of your routine. Reflection can also deepen your relationships. When you take the time to consider how your actions affect others, you become more attuned to their needs and emotions. Did you listen fully in conversations, or were you distracted? Did you respond with patience, or were you quick to anger? These questions encourage you to engage with others more thoughtfully and authentically. Another benefit of reflection is its ability to foster gratitude. By reviewing your day, you're reminded of the moments of goodness, however small, that you might have overlooked in the busyness of life. Gratitude shifts your perspective, highlighting the positives and helping you approach life with a sense of abundance rather than lack. Reflection also strengthens your ability to handle challenges. By reviewing how you navigated difficulties, you gain insight into your strengths and areas for improvement. This understanding equips you to approach future challenges with greater confidence and resilience. Each setback becomes an opportunity to learn and grow rather than a source of frustration or defeat. The practice of reflection is a quiet act of self-care. It's a moment to pause, breathe, and connect with yourself. In a world that often prioritizes productivity over presence, reflection is a reminder that your worth isn't measured by how much you accomplish, but by the depth of your engagement with life. It's also worth noting that reflection isn't about perfection. There will be days when you feel you could have done better, when your actions didn't align with your values as much as you'd like. These moments are not failures, they're opportunities. Reflection teaches you to approach yourself with compassion, acknowledging your humanity, and using each day as a chance to improve. For those who feel they don't have time for reflection, it's important to remember that even a few minutes can make a difference. Reflection doesn't need to be a lengthy or elaborate process. It can be as simple as asking yourself, what did I learn today? Or how can I be better tomorrow? These small moments of introspection add up, creating a foundation of self-awareness and growth. Reflection is also a way to honor the passage of time. Each day is a chapter in the story of your life, and reflection allows you to pause and appreciate the unfolding narrative. It helps you see the connections between your actions and their outcomes, deepening your understanding of how you shape your path. Ultimately, reflection is an act of self-leadership. It's about taking responsibility for your life and actively working to become the person you want to be. Through reflection, you build the awareness, clarity, and intention needed to navigate life's complexities with wisdom and grace. The calm and clarity you cultivate through reflection are not fleeting. They build over time, creating a steady foundation for your life. This practice is a gift you give yourself, a commitment to living with purpose and presence. As you continue this journey, let reflection be your guide, helping you let go of what no longer serves you and step into the fullness of who you are becoming. Reflection anchors self-awareness and clears the path for a calmer, more intentional life. But sometimes, despite our best efforts, fear lingers. Fear of losing what we love, of change, of the unknown. This fear can feel paralyzing, but the Stoics offer a counterintuitive yet transformative solution: embracing it. Through the practice of visualization, negative visualization, we don't shy away from our fears. Instead, we face them, transform them, and uncover gratitude in their shadow. Negative visualization is the art of imagining loss, not as an act of despair, but as a tool to recalibrate perspective. The thought of losing something or someone dear, of facing discomfort, or of life taking an unexpected turn is unsettling, but it also sheds light on what we often take for granted. This practice doesn't dwell in morbid thinking. It shifts the mind from fear to appreciation, from attachment to awareness. It is not about creating suffering, but about deepening gratitude for what is here, right now. When you consider what life would be like without something you cherish, a loved one, your health, or even the comfort of a home, it forces you to confront the impermanence of life. This confrontation isn't meant to create anxiety, but to remind you that nothing is guaranteed. It highlights the preciousness of each moment and draws your attention to the value of what you might otherwise overlook. This is how negative visualization turns fear into gratitude. For instance, consider the relationships in your life. It's easy to let the small irritations, misunderstandings, disagreements, or the busyness of daily routines overshadow the depth of connection you share with others. By contemplating what life might be like without those individuals, you start to see their presence in a new light. Their quirks become endearing rather than annoying. Their flaws become human rather than frustrating. Gratitude softens the sharp edges of impatience and resentment, fostering deeper compassion and appreciation. The practice of negative visualization extends beyond relationships. Think about the simple comforts of your daily life: a warm bed, clean water, or even the ability to move freely. These are things we often take for granted until they are gone. By imagining their absence, you cultivate a profound gratitude for what you already have. This gratitude shifts your focus from what you lack to the abundance that surrounds you, quieting the mind and calming the heart. Negative visualization also serves as a tool for reducing the sting of future losses. When you've mentally prepared yourself for the possibility of loss, its impact is often less jarring. This doesn't mean you don't feel sadness or pain, but it does mean you're less likely to be overwhelmed by it. Preparing your mind for the realities of life, both its joys and its sorrows, creates resilience. It helps you face the inevitable with grace, knowing that while loss is part of life, it doesn't have to define it. Another powerful application of negative visualization is in facing fears of failure or discomfort. Fear often magnifies these scenarios, making them seem larger and more daunting than they truly are. By visualizing the worst-case scenario, you strip it of its power. You see that even if things don't go as planned, you have the strength to endure. This realization doesn't just reduce fear, it builds confidence. You stop avoiding challenges and start approaching them with a calm, prepared mindset. Negative visualization also deepens your ability to live in the present. When you acknowledge the transient nature of life, you become more attuned to its fleeting beauty. The laughter of a child, the warmth of the sun, or the quiet stillness of a moment all become treasures when viewed through the lens of impermanence. This presence doesn't deny the reality of hardship, but embraces the fullness of life, both its light and its shadows. This practice can also help you let go of unnecessary attachments. We often cling to things, possessions, statuses, or even identities, as if they define us. But through negative visualization, you see that these external markers are not permanent, nor are they essential to your core being. By releasing this grip, you create space for what truly matters: values, relationships, and experiences that bring genuine fulfillment. Negative visualization isn't about dwelling on what could go wrong. It's about preparing your mind to appreciate what is right. It's about recognizing that life's fragility doesn't make it less beautiful, but more so. This perspective helps you meet challenges with a steady heart and see joy even in the midst of uncertainty. One of the profound benefits of this practice is its ability to reduce envy and comparison. When you focus on what you might lose rather than on what others have, your attention shifts inward. You stop measuring your life against someone else's and start valuing it for what it is. Gratitude replaces jealousy, and contentment takes the place of striving for more. Negative visualization also builds emotional strength. It's not easy to confront the possibility of loss or hardship, but doing so strengthens your capacity to face life as it is. This strength doesn't come from avoiding pain, but from accepting it as part of the human experience. By leaning into this reality, you cultivate a resilience that allows you to weather life's storms without losing your center. Practicing negative visualization can be as simple as taking a few moments each day to reflect. Close your eyes and consider what life would be like without something or someone you value. Let the thought settle, not to create fear, but to deepen your appreciation. Then open your eyes and return to the present, carrying that sense of gratitude with you. This practice doesn't need to be long or elaborate to be effective. Another approach is to pair negative visualization with journaling. Write about what you value most and what life might be like without it. This act of writing helps clarify your thoughts and reinforces the lessons of the practice. It also creates a record of gratitude that you can revisit on difficult days. Negative visualization is a deeply personal practice. Each person's fears, values, and sources of gratitude are unique. The key is to approach it with honesty and an open heart, allowing it to reveal what matters most to you. Over time, this practice not only transforms fear into gratitude, but also shapes your perspective, helping you live with greater awareness, resilience, and joy. The beauty of negative visualization lies in its simplicity. It doesn't require elaborate rituals or external tools, just your willingness to look inward. And through this inward gaze, you discover that the things you feared losing were never meant to be clung to. They were meant to be cherished, appreciated, and eventually released. In a world that often encourages us to chase after more, negative visualization reminds us to pause and treasure what we already have. It teaches us that life's fragility is not a burden, but a gift, a reminder to live fully, love deeply, and appreciate the richness of the present moment. Through this practice, you learn that true gratitude isn't found in acquiring more, but in recognizing the beauty of what is already yours. Gratitude reshapes fear into a powerful appreciation for life, grounding us in the present. Yet, even as gratitude grows, emotions often remain unruly, pulling us in directions we don't choose. Anger flares at the slightest insult. Anxiety spirals over what hasn't yet happened, and frustration festers in silence. These reactions are automatic, often bypassing thought altogether. The question is, how do we shift from reacting impulsively to responding consciously? Emotional mastery offers the answer. Emotions are not enemies. They are signals, messengers from within, meant to guide rather than control. Anger signals a perceived injustice. Fear highlights a potential threat. Sadness points to a sense of loss. But when emotions are unchecked, they take over, dictating behavior in ways that often lead to regret. Emotional mastery is not about suppressing these signals, but about understanding and channeling them constructively. The first step to emotional mastery is recognizing when emotions arise. Often, emotions operate in the background, influencing thoughts and actions without our full awareness. Developing this awareness requires pausing and noticing what's happening in the body and mind. A tightened jaw, a quickened heartbeat, or racing thoughts, all are signs that an emotion is present. This pause creates space between the stimulus and your response, a moment where choice becomes possible. One of the most effective tools for mastering emotions is reframing. When an event triggers a strong reaction, the mind often jumps to conclusions or assumes the worst. Reframing involves stepping back and asking, is there another way to view this? For example, instead of seeing criticism as an attack, it can be viewed as feedback. Instead of perceiving a delay as an inconvenience, it can be seen as an opportunity to practice patience. This shift in perspective doesn't change the situation, but it changes how you relate to it. Breathing is another powerful technique for emotional regulation. Emotions often hijack the body, causing shallow breaths or tension. Deliberate, deep breathing signals to the brain that it's safe to calm down. A slow inhale, a brief pause, and a longer exhale can reset your nervous system, allowing you to approach the situation with clarity. This simple practice is a cornerstone of emotional mastery because it grounds you in the present and brings your body into alignment with your intention. Journaling is also an invaluable tool for processing emotions. Writing down your thoughts and feelings provides a safe space to explore them without judgment. It allows you to identify patterns, uncover underlying triggers, and gain insights that might not surface in the moment. Through journaling, emotions lose their intensity and become more manageable, offering clarity about what needs attention and what can be let go. Another essential aspect of emotional mastery is accepting that you are not your emotions. Just because anger arises doesn't mean you are an angry person. Just because fear surfaces doesn't mean you are weak. Emotions are temporary states, not permanent traits. This understanding creates distance between you and the emotion, allowing you to observe it rather than be consumed by it. The Stoics often referred to this practice as seeing yourself as the observer. By identifying as the one who notices the emotion rather than the one who is the emotion, you regain control. Empathy also plays a significant role in mastering emotions, particularly in social interactions. When someone else's behavior triggers a strong reaction, taking a moment to consider their perspective can diffuse tension. Perhaps their harsh words stem from their own pain or stress. This doesn't excuse harmful behavior, but it softens your reaction and helps you respond with understanding rather than defensiveness. Empathy shifts the focus from what they did to me to what might they be experiencing, which creates a pathway for connection instead of conflict. Mindfulness is another practice that enhances emotional mastery. Being fully present in the moment allows you to experience emotions without judgment, instead of labeling anger as bad or sadness as weak. Mindfulness encourages you to simply notice the emotion for what it is, a passing sensation. By sitting with the discomfort rather than trying to push it away, you build resilience and reduce the power emotions have over you. Setting boundaries is equally important. Emotions often spiral when personal limits are crossed, leading to feelings of resentment or overwhelm. Clear boundaries protect your emotional space and reduce unnecessary conflict. For example, saying no to additional commitments when you're already stretched thin isn't selfish. It's a form of self-respect. Emotional mastery involves recognizing when to stand firm and when to compromise, ensuring that your well-being remains a priority. Perspective-taking is another skill that can transform emotional responses. When faced with a triggering situation, ask yourself how you might view it a year from now, or how someone you admire might handle it. This shift can reveal the temporary nature of most problems and help you approach them with a calmer mindset. By broadening your view, you reduce the intensity of immediate emotions and gain a more balanced perspective. Another powerful practice is gratitude in the face of difficulty. It may seem counterintuitive, but finding something to be grateful for, even in challenging situations, can shift your emotional state. Gratitude doesn't deny the difficulty but brings balance to the experience. For example, if you're frustrated with a tough conversation, gratitude for the opportunity to grow from it can soften the edges of anger or disappointment. This practice rewires your mind to seek solutions rather than dwell on problems. Self-compassion is a vital component of emotional mastery. When emotions overwhelm, it's easy to slip into self-criticism. Thoughts like, "I shouldn't feel this way," or "Why can't I handle this better?" only add to the turmoil. Instead, treat yourself with the kindness you would offer a friend. Acknowledge the difficulty of the moment and remind yourself that struggling with emotions is part of being human. This gentle approach creates space for healing and growth. Another tool is intentional response planning. For situations that you know are likely to trigger strong emotions, take time to plan how you will respond. Visualize staying calm and articulating your thoughts clearly. This preparation reduces the likelihood of impulsive reactions and increases your confidence in handling similar situations in the future. Practicing forgiveness also plays a crucial role in emotional mastery. Holding on to grudges or past hurts ties you to the emotions of those events, keeping them alive in your mind. Forgiveness doesn't mean condoning harmful behavior. It means freeing yourself from its emotional grip. By releasing resentment, you reclaim your energy and make room for peace. Patience is another virtue that strengthens emotional mastery. Many reactions stem from the desire for immediate resolution or change. Cultivating patience allows you to sit with uncertainty and trust that clarity will come in time. Patience isn't passive. It's an active choice to remain steady and composed, even when circumstances are unresolved. Practicing alignment with your values anchors emotional mastery. When you base your responses on your principles rather than fleeting emotions, you create consistency and integrity in your actions. For instance, if kindness is a core value, responding to conflict with empathy rather than anger reinforces your commitment to that value. This alignment not only calms emotional turbulence, but also strengthens your sense of self. Emotional mastery is not about erasing emotions, but about navigating them with awareness and intention. By pausing, reframing, and responding thoughtfully, you shift from being at the mercy of your emotions to being their master. Each practice builds upon the other, creating a foundation of resilience and peace that carries through every aspect of life. This journey is not linear, but with patience and persistence, it leads to a profound sense of freedom and inner calm. Emotional mastery unlocks a profound ability, the power to respond consciously, rooted in values rather than impulses. But even with this strength, there remains a persistent challenge that tests inner peace. The weight of others' opinions. The judgments of people around us, whether whispered in passing or loudly declared, often cling to our minds like shadows, shaping how we see ourselves and dictating our choices. This external noise can drown out your inner voice if you allow it. But there is a way to silence the noise and reclaim serenity, not by fighting it, but by choosing indifference to what lies beyond your control. The grip of others' opinions often starts early. Approval becomes a currency we trade for acceptance and belonging. Over time, this need to be liked can grow into a heavy chain, pulling us toward conformity and away from authenticity. Learning to break free from this chain begins with a fundamental truth. What others think of you is a reflection of their perspective, not your worth. Their judgments are shaped by their experiences, biases, and insecurities, none of which define who you are. Indifference to external opinions is not about becoming cold or dismissive. It's about choosing where to place your energy. Every moment spent worrying about what others think is a moment stolen from your peace. By releasing this worry, you create space to focus on what truly matters: your values, your goals, and your growth. The Stoics teach that serenity comes from aligning with your inner compass, not from chasing approval that is fleeting and unreliable. When you center yourself on your principles, external judgments lose their sting. If you know you've acted with integrity, then criticism becomes less about you and more about the perspective of the critic. This shift empowers you to evaluate feedback rationally. Is there a kernel of truth in the critique that can help you grow? If so, accept it with grace. If not, let it pass like wind through an open window, carrying no weight in your mind. A powerful practice to maintain this mindset is questioning the importance of others' opinions. Ask yourself, how much will this matter a year from now? 5 years? Often, the judgments we agonize over are fleeting, quickly forgotten by others but held onto by us. By gaining perspective on the temporary nature of most opinions, you free yourself from their hold. Another technique is to recognize that you cannot control what others think, nor should you. Efforts to shape others' perceptions often lead to frustration and self-betrayal. You might alter your behavior to fit their expectations, only to find that their opinions change again. Instead, focus on what you can control: your actions, your mindset, and your integrity. This approach not only reduces stress, but also strengthens your sense of self. Comparison is another form of external noise that disrupts peace. The mind often drifts into measuring your path against someone else's, creating feelings of inadequacy or envy. But comparison is a thief of joy, because it places your worth on a scale that was never meant for you. Your journey is uniquely yours, shaped by your experiences, choices, and goals. By turning your focus inward, you reclaim the power to define success on your terms. Social media amplifies the challenge of external opinions. The curated lives of others can trigger doubts about your own, creating a false sense of inadequacy. To silence this noise, approach social media mindfully. Limit your exposure to accounts that feed insecurity, and surround yourself with content that inspires and uplifts. Remember, the version of life shared online is often a highlight reel, not the full story. By keeping this perspective, you reduce its power to influence your inner peace. Practicing mindfulness also helps you detach from external judgments. When someone criticizes or praises you, notice the feelings that arise without attaching to them. Acknowledge the reaction, whether it's pride, hurt, or defensiveness, and let it pass without clinging to it. This practice strengthens your ability to remain grounded, unaffected by the emotional swings caused by others' opinions. The opinions of others often feel louder than they are, because we give them space in our minds. Each time you replay a critical comment or seek validation, you feed its power. Instead, redirect your attention to actions aligned with your values. When you are deeply engaged in purposeful work or meaningful relationships, the noise of external judgments fades into the background. Building self-confidence is another essential step in silencing the noise. Confidence doesn't come from the approval of others. It comes from living in alignment with your principles. When you act with integrity, your sense of worth becomes unshakable, rooted in the knowledge that you are being true to yourself. This inner strength shields you from the turbulence of external opinions. Another way to cultivate indifference to judgments is through gratitude. When you focus on what you appreciate in your life, you shift your attention from what others think to what truly matters. Gratitude grounds you in the present moment, reminding you of the abundance already within you, independent of external validation. Empathy also plays a role in silencing the noise. When faced with harsh judgments, consider the source. People who criticize often project their own insecurities. By viewing their words through the lens of compassion, you can respond with understanding rather than defensiveness. This perspective not only protects your peace, but also strengthens your relationships. Setting boundaries is crucial in managing the influence of others' opinions. Not everyone deserves access to your thoughts or emotions. Choose carefully whom you allow to offer feedback and whose opinions you consider. Surround yourself with people who respect your values and encourage your growth, rather than those who seek to control or diminish you. Silencing the noise doesn't mean ignoring feedback altogether. Constructive criticism can be a valuable tool for growth when offered with respect and genuine intent. The key is to discern between feedback that builds and criticism that tears down. By approaching feedback with a clear mind, you can take what serves you and leave the rest behind. Another practice to cultivate indifference to external opinions is detachment from outcomes. Often, the fear of judgment arises from a desire for success or approval in a specific situation. By focusing on your effort and intentions rather than the result, you shift your attention to what you can control. This detachment not only reduces anxiety, but also allows you to act with greater clarity and confidence. Reflecting on the impermanence of life can also help you silence the noise. The judgments of others are often as fleeting as the wind, here today and gone tomorrow. When you remind yourself of this, their weight diminishes and your focus returns to what truly matters. Building a strong sense of identity is a powerful antidote to external noise. When you know who you are and what you stand for, the opinions of others lose their influence. This clarity comes from consistent self-reflection, aligning your actions with your values and embracing your uniqueness. By grounding yourself in this understanding, you become resilient to the shifting tides of judgment. Silencing the noise is not about shutting out the world, it's about tuning into the voice within. When you stop letting external opinions dictate your actions, you create space for authenticity, growth, and peace. The noise may still exist, but its volume diminishes when you choose to focus on what truly matters, living a life that is true to yourself. Letting go of the weight of others' opinions creates a quieter space within, one where your mind can finally rest. Yet, even in this newfound calm, there's another challenge that often arises: the pull of complexity, the constant need for more, for bigger, for better. Life, with all its demands and distractions, can make the small, beautiful moments disappear into the background. But what if those simple moments held the key to profound joy? Gratitude in simplicity is a way of seeing the extraordinary in the ordinary, of uncovering contentment right where you stand, without needing anything more. Gratitude is not a grand act. It's a shift in perspective. It's the ability to look at life through a lens that highlights abundance rather than scarcity. The world often conditions us to chase after what's next, to fixate on what's missing or what could be improved. Gratitude redirects that focus to what is already here, no matter how small or seemingly insignificant. It's the sunrise that warms the start of your day, the aroma of freshly brewed coffee, or the sound of rain against the window. These moments, when noticed, have the power to anchor you in a deep sense of appreciation. When life feels overwhelming, gratitude offers a way to reframe your perspective. It reminds you that while problems exist, so do blessings. Consider a day where everything feels heavy, work deadlines loom, personal relationships feel strained, and the future feels uncertain. Even in the middle of this, gratitude can shift your energy. A kind word from a friend, a meal on your table, or even the ability to pause and breathe. These are all sources of comfort and joy, waiting to be acknowledged. Gratitude, in simplicity, isn't about denying challenges or pretending life is perfect. It's about holding space for joy alongside the struggles. The two can coexist. A difficult day doesn't erase the beauty of the stars at night, and a challenging situation doesn't diminish the kindness of someone offering help. Gratitude allows you to see both, creating a balance that soothes the mind and steadies the heart. Practicing gratitude requires intention. It's easy to overlook the small blessings in the rush of daily life. Taking a moment to reflect on them can be transformative. Some find it helpful to keep a gratitude journal, jotting down 3 things they're thankful for each day. These don't need to be monumental. In fact, the smaller and more specific, the better. It might be the way sunlight filters through the trees during your morning walk, the sound of a loved one's laughter, or the comforting taste of a favorite meal. Over time, this practice trains your mind to seek out the good, even when it feels hidden. Gratitude also acts as a counterbalance to mental chatter. When the mind is consumed with worries, frustrations, or comparisons, gratitude cuts through the noise. It pulls you out of the spiral of overthinking and brings you back to the present. By focusing on what's right in front of you, gratitude grounds you, offering a sense of calm in the chaos. Simplicity amplifies gratitude. In a world that often glorifies excess and complexity, returning to the basics can be deeply refreshing. Consider the joy of decluttering a space and appreciating its newfound openness, or the contentment of a quiet evening spent with loved ones. These moments remind you that happiness isn't always found in more, it's often found in less. Stripping away the unnecessary reveals the value of what remains. Gratitude for the small things also fosters a sense of connection. When you're thankful for the effort someone puts into a thoughtful gesture, or the way nature provides beauty without asking for anything in return, you feel a deeper bond with the world around you. This connection enriches your experience of life, making each moment more meaningful. One of the most powerful aspects of gratitude is its ability to shift your emotional state. It's difficult to feel both grateful and resentful at the same time. When you choose gratitude, you open the door to positivity and close the door to negativity. This doesn't mean you ignore difficult emotions. Rather, it means you don't let them dominate your perspective. Gratitude creates space for healing and resilience, even in the face of hardship. Gratitude also enhances relationships. Expressing appreciation for the people in your life strengthens bonds and fosters mutual respect. Whether it's a simple thank you for a kind act or a heartfelt acknowledgement of someone's support, these expressions of gratitude create a ripple effect. The more you practice gratitude toward others, the more they feel seen and valued, which in turn deepens your connection. Another profound benefit of gratitude is its ability to anchor you in the present. Often, the mind drifts into the past, replaying regrets or projects into the future, worrying about what's to come. Gratitude pulls you back to the now, reminding you of the beauty in this moment. It's a gentle nudge to pause, to breathe, and to take in the life around you as it is. Gratitude also shifts the way you approach challenges. Instead of viewing obstacles as purely negative, gratitude helps you see the lessons they offer. A difficult conversation might teach you patience, a setback might strengthen your perseverance, and a failure might lead to growth. This doesn't mean you have to be thankful for pain, but it does mean you can find value in how you respond to it. Nature is a wonderful teacher of gratitude. Watching the rhythm of the seasons, the persistence of a small flower breaking through concrete, or the serenity of a flowing river, all remind you of the quiet beauty that exists in the world. Taking time to be in nature, even for a few moments, fosters a sense of awe and appreciation that calms the mind and enriches the soul. Gratitude also encourages humility. When you acknowledge the blessings in your life, you're reminded that you don't walk this journey alone. Whether it's the support of others, the opportunities you've been given, or the simple fact of being alive, gratitude shifts your focus from self-centered striving to a broader sense of interconnectedness. Incorporating gratitude into your daily routine doesn't need to be complicated. It can be as simple as pausing before a meal to acknowledge the effort that brought it to your table, thanking someone sincerely for their kindness, or taking a moment at the end of the day to reflect on what went well. These small acts create a habit of appreciation that grows stronger with time. Gratitude in simplicity is not a fleeting feeling, it's a way of seeing the world. It transforms the mundane into the meaningful and reminds you that joy is often closer than you think. By cultivating a grateful mindset, you quiet the mental chatter, reframe your perspective, and open yourself to the richness of life. This practice doesn't just calm the mind, it fills the heart. Gratitude brings clarity and calm, helping us appreciate the beauty of life in its simplest forms. Yet, even with this perspective, there's another challenge that can drain peace and energy: the lack of boundaries. Without boundaries, we often stretch ourselves too thin, saying yes to things we don't truly want or need, and leaving little room for what genuinely matters. Learning to set boundaries is not just about protecting your time, it's about safeguarding your mental peace, prioritizing your well-being, and creating a life that aligns with your values. Boundaries are often misunderstood as walls that shut others out, but they're quite the opposite. They are bridges that help define where you end and others begin, creating a healthy framework for relationships and interactions. Without clear boundaries, your energy becomes scattered, pulled in directions that might not serve your purpose. Saying no is a tool for clarity, allowing you to focus on what truly aligns with your needs and priorities. One of the reasons boundaries feel so challenging is the fear of disappointing others. The desire to be liked or avoid conflict often pushes people to say yes, even when it goes against their better judgment. But every time you say yes to something that drains you, you are saying no to something that could nourish you. Setting boundaries requires reframing this dynamic. Saying no doesn't make you selfish, it makes you intentional. It's an act of self-respect, showing that you value your time and energy enough to protect them. Learning to say no also fosters authenticity. When you agree to things out of obligation or guilt, your actions often lack genuine enthusiasm. Over time, this can lead to resentment, both toward others and yourself. Boundaries create space for honest communication, where your yes comes from a place of alignment and your no is delivered with clarity and respect. This honesty strengthens relationships, fostering trust and mutual respect. One way to establish boundaries is to get clear on your priorities. Reflect on what matters most to you, your health, your family, your personal goals, and let these priorities guide your decisions. When you know what's truly important, it becomes easier to recognize when something doesn't align. This clarity simplifies the act of setting boundaries, as you're no longer making decisions in the moment, but from a foundation of purpose. Boundaries also protect your emotional well-being. Without them, you may find yourself absorbing the emotions or expectations of others, leaving little room for your own needs. For example, constantly saying yes to requests for help, even when you're overwhelmed, can lead to burnout. By setting boundaries, you give yourself permission to step back and recharge, ensuring that you have the energy to show up fully when it truly matters. Another powerful aspect of boundaries is their ability to reduce stress. When you say yes to everything, life can feel chaotic and overwhelming. Boundaries act as a filter, allowing you to focus on what adds value to your life while letting go of what doesn't. This selective approach creates a sense of control and calm, replacing the anxiety of overcommitment with the peace of intentionality. Boundaries are also essential in maintaining healthy relationships. They teach others how to treat you, by defining what you will and won't accept. For instance, if someone frequently interrupts your personal time with demands, setting a boundary communicates that your time is valuable and deserves respect. These limits are not about punishing others, but about fostering mutual understanding and respect. Setting boundaries also strengthens your sense of self. Each time you stand firm in your needs, you reinforce your autonomy and build confidence in your ability to navigate life on your terms. This empowerment carries over into other areas of your life, helping you approach challenges with greater clarity and resilience. Another important aspect of boundaries is their role in fostering balance. Life often pulls us in many directions, with work, relationships, and personal goals competing for attention. Boundaries create the structure needed to maintain balance, ensuring that no single area takes precedence at the expense of others. This balance supports overall well-being, reducing the risk of burnout and enhancing your ability to thrive. One of the keys to setting boundaries is communication. Boundaries are most effective when they are expressed clearly and respectfully. For example, if you need uninterrupted time to focus on a project, let others know in advance. By communicating your needs, you reduce the likelihood of misunderstandings and create a collaborative environment where your boundaries are respected. It's also important to recognize that setting boundaries is a skill that takes practice. The first few times you say no, it might feel uncomfortable, especially if you're used to pleasing others. But with each act of boundary setting, you build confidence and reinforce the importance of protecting your peace. Over time, this practice becomes more natural, empowering you to navigate life with intention and clarity. Boundaries also encourage self-care. When you prioritize your own needs, you create space for rest, reflection, and growth. This doesn't mean shutting others out. It means ensuring that you have the energy and capacity to show up fully in your relationships and responsibilities. Self-care is not selfish, it's essential, and boundaries make it possible. Another benefit of boundaries is their ability to enhance productivity. When you're constantly saying yes to things that don't align with your goals, your focus becomes scattered. Boundaries help you direct your energy toward what truly matters, increasing your effectiveness and satisfaction. This focused approach not only reduces stress, but also brings a sense of accomplishment. Boundaries also teach others to respect you. When you consistently communicate and uphold your limits, people learn to value your time and energy. This respect creates a foundation for healthier, more balanced relationships. It also sets an example, showing others the importance of honoring their own boundaries. Setting boundaries is not about being rigid or inflexible. It's about creating a framework that supports your well-being while remaining open to meaningful connections. Boundaries are fluid, evolving as your needs and circumstances change. By regularly reflecting on your boundaries, you ensure that they continue to serve you and those around you. Another powerful aspect of boundaries is their ability to protect your mental peace. The demands of life can feel endless, but boundaries create a buffer, allowing you to focus on what truly matters. They act as a shield against unnecessary stress, helping you maintain a sense of calm even in the midst of chaos. Ultimately, boundaries are about reclaiming your power. They remind you that you have the right to choose how you spend your time and energy. By setting boundaries, you create a life that aligns with your values and priorities, fostering a sense of peace and fulfillment that comes from living authentically. Setting boundaries protects your energy, allowing you to focus on what truly matters in life. Yet, even with clear limits and a purposeful path, there's a deeper truth that can reshape how you live each moment: the reality of life's impermanence. Far from being a source of fear, the Stoic practice of memento mori, or remembering mortality, offers profound liberation. It sharpens focus, deepens gratitude, and brings peace by reminding us that every moment is finite and therefore precious. Mortality is a universal truth, yet it's often avoided in daily thought. The culture of constant productivity and endless distractions creates a false sense of permanence, as if there will always be time to do more, to say what needs to be said, or to live fully. The practice of memento mori disrupts this illusion. It brings mortality into focus, not as a grim thought, but as a lens to clarify priorities and encourage intentional living. When you acknowledge that time is limited, the urgency to make it meaningful becomes clear. Reflecting on mortality isn't about dwelling on death. It's about deepening your engagement with life. When you recognize that every sunrise is one less you'll see, it becomes more vibrant. The conversations you have, the laughter you share, and even the quiet moments of solitude gain significance. Memento mori teaches that the impermanence of life doesn't diminish its value, it enhances it. By embracing this truth, you free yourself from the trivial and focus on what truly enriches your existence. One way to practice memento mori is through gratitude. Knowing that life is fleeting transforms even ordinary experiences into extraordinary gifts. The warmth of a loved one's smile, the taste of a favorite meal, or the serenity of a walk in nature. All become treasures when viewed through the lens of impermanence. Gratitude shifts your perspective, helping you savor life instead of rushing through it. Memento mori also fosters courage. Many fears stem from the desire to avoid discomfort or risk, but when you remember that life itself is finite, these fears lose their hold. If your time is limited, why spend it avoiding challenges or holding back? This awareness empowers you to take bold steps, pursue meaningful goals, and embrace the unknown. It reminds you that the fear of failure pales in comparison to the regret of not trying. Another profound benefit of memento mori is the ability to let go of grudges and trivial conflicts. Holding on to anger or resentment becomes less appealing when you realize how fleeting life is. Why waste precious time nursing old wounds or engaging in unnecessary disputes? Instead, memento mori encourages forgiveness and reconciliation, fostering peace within yourself and with others. This practice also helps clarify what truly matters. When you reflect on mortality, the superficial loses its appeal. Material possessions, status, and fleeting accolades seem less significant compared to relationships, personal growth, and the impact you leave behind. Memento mori helps you align your actions with your values, ensuring that your time is spent on what genuinely fulfills you. Mortality is often viewed as an end, but memento mori reframes it as a guide for how to live. By contemplating the end of life, you are inspired to live it fully and authentically. This awareness fosters presence, pulling you away from distractions and into the richness of the moment. When you acknowledge that each day is a gift, the temptation to waste it diminishes. Memento mori also provides perspective during challenges. Difficulties that once seemed overwhelming take on a different weight when viewed through the lens of impermanence. Knowing that even hardships are temporary can provide comfort and strength. This perspective doesn't trivialize pain, but places it within the larger context of life's fleeting nature. Reflecting on mortality also encourages humility. It reminds you that no matter your achievements or status, you are part of a larger cycle. This understanding fosters connection with others, as you recognize the shared humanity of impermanence. It also reduces the pressure to prove yourself, freeing you to live with greater authenticity and peace. The practice of memento mori is deeply personal. For some, it might involve journaling about what they would do if they had only a year left to live. For others, it could be meditating on the idea that each breath is a step closer to the end. There is no single way to engage with this practice. The key is to approach it with openness and curiosity, allowing it to deepen your appreciation for life. Memento mori also strengthens resilience. When you embrace the inevitability of life's end, you become less afraid of change and loss. You understand that everything is part of the same natural cycle, and this understanding brings peace. It allows you to navigate life's uncertainties with a steady heart, knowing that impermanence is not something to fear, but to accept. This awareness also enhances your relationships. When you remember that time with loved ones is limited, you become more present and attentive. The small annoyances fade, and the beauty of connection takes center stage. Memento mori encourages you to express love, gratitude, and kindness now, rather than waiting for a perfect moment that may never come. The Stoics believed that reflecting on mortality was not morbid, but necessary. It's a practice that sharpens focus and reminds you to live with purpose. By acknowledging the finite nature of life, you are inspired to use your time wisely, to act with integrity, and to pursue what truly matters. This perspective doesn't diminish life's joy. It amplifies it, making each moment more vibrant and meaningful. Contemplating mortality also helps you detach from the unimportant. When viewed through the lens of impermanence, the petty concerns that often consume your mind lose their significance. The missed opportunity, the awkward conversation, the mistake at work, none of these define your life. Memento mori helps you see the bigger picture, reminding you that life is too short to be weighed down by what doesn't truly matter. Memento mori can also inspire creativity and self-expression. Knowing that your time is finite encourages you to share your voice, pursue your passions, and leave a meaningful legacy. Whether it's through art, writing, teaching, or simply living in a way that reflects your values, this awareness motivates you to make the most of your unique gifts. Memento mori fosters a sense of peace. By accepting the impermanence of life, you release the need to control every outcome or avoid every uncertainty. You learn to flow with life rather than resist it, finding serenity in the knowledge that each moment is enough. This peace is not passive. It's an active engagement with the present, fueled by gratitude and guided by purpose. In embracing mortality, you embrace life. Memento mori is not a call to despair, but an invitation to live fully, to love deeply, and to cherish the beauty of existence. Through this practice, you find not only clarity and focus, but also a profound sense of liberation and joy. Embracing the impermanence of life teaches us what truly matters, cutting through distractions and unveiling the beauty of the present moment. Yet, even with this clarity, the weight of unfulfilled desires can pull us into a constant state of longing. The pursuit of more possessions, recognition, or achievements creates a restless mind, perpetually chasing the next thing without appreciating what is already enough. Breaking free from the anxiety of wanting more begins with limiting desires, not as an act of deprivation, but as a pathway to freedom and peace. Desires, when unchecked, often grow insatiable. What begins as a simple wish for something new can quickly escalate into a cycle of endless craving. A new possession might bring temporary satisfaction, but it soon loses its luster, replaced by the longing for something else. This cycle is fueled by the illusion that external things can fill an internal void. Limiting desires doesn't mean rejecting all wants, but recognizing which ones align with your values and bring true fulfillment. One way to begin limiting desires is by embracing minimalism, not just in physical possessions, but also in thought and action. Minimalism is the practice of stripping away the excess to focus on what truly matters. It asks you to evaluate the purpose behind your desires. Are they driven by genuine needs, or by societal pressure, fear of missing out, or a desire to impress others? By identifying and releasing desires that don't serve your well-being, you create space for peace and contentment. The practice of gratitude plays a significant role in limiting desires. When you focus on what you already have, the need for more diminishes. Gratitude shifts your perspective from lack to abundance, helping you see the richness of your current life. Instead of longing for the next thing, you begin to appreciate the value of what is already present: a supportive friend, a comfortable home, or a simple meal shared with loved ones. Another key to breaking free from excessive desires is recognizing their impact on your mental and emotional state. Desires often come with anxiety, the fear of not achieving them, the stress of maintaining them, or the disappointment when they fail to satisfy. By limiting your desires, you reduce this emotional burden, creating a calmer, more grounded state of mind. This doesn't mean eliminating all goals, but approaching them with balance and detachment. Detachment is a powerful tool in managing desires. It allows you to pursue meaningful goals without tying your happiness to the outcome. When you're detached, your sense of worth isn't defined by what you achieve or acquire, but by how you live and align with your values. This mindset frees you from the anxiety of chasing more and helps you find joy in the process rather than just the result. Limiting desires also brings clarity. When your mind is cluttered with endless wants, it's easy to lose sight of what truly matters. Simplifying your desires allows you to focus on the things that bring genuine meaning and fulfillment. This clarity extends to your daily decisions, helping you prioritize actions and choices that align with your purpose. Another benefit of limiting desires is the freedom it brings. Desires often tether you to external circumstances, making your happiness dependent on things outside your control. By reducing your attachment to these desires, you reclaim your autonomy. You become less swayed by trends, advertisements, or societal expectations, and more guided by your own inner compass. Limiting desires also deepens your connection with others. When you're not consumed by the pursuit of more, you have more energy to invest in relationships and experiences. The time and attention you give to loved ones become more meaningful, creating bonds built on presence and authenticity rather than material exchanges. This practice also encourages self-reflection. By questioning your desires, you uncover deeper motivations and patterns. Are you seeking validation through possessions or achievements? Are your desires masking deeper insecurities or fears? Reflection helps you address these underlying issues, reducing the need for external fulfillment. Breaking free from excessive desires also fosters resilience. When your happiness is no longer tied to acquiring or achieving, you become more adaptable to life's uncertainties. You learn to find peace in any circumstance, knowing that your contentment comes from within rather than from external factors. This resilience helps you navigate challenges with greater ease and confidence. Limiting desires doesn't mean rejecting pleasure or ambition. It's about distinguishing between fleeting wants and enduring needs. It's about finding satisfaction in simplicity rather than complexity. For example, the joy of a heartfelt conversation often outweighs the temporary thrill of a new gadget. Recognizing these distinctions allows you to prioritize what truly enriches your life. Practicing mindfulness is another effective way to manage desires. Mindfulness helps you stay present and aware of your thoughts and feelings, allowing you to observe desires without immediately acting on them. This pause creates space to evaluate whether a desire aligns with your values or is simply a fleeting impulse. Over time, this practice strengthens your ability to choose wisely and intentionally. Another approach to limiting desires is setting boundaries, both with yourself and others. Boundaries help you resist the pull of societal pressures to constantly acquire more. They also create structure, ensuring that your resources, time, energy, and attention are directed toward what truly matters. This intentionality fosters a sense of peace and control. The practice of minimalism also extends to how you spend your time. Reducing the number of commitments and focusing on quality over quantity helps you live more intentionally. When you're not overburdened by unnecessary obligations, you have more space to enjoy the present moment and pursue activities that align with your values. Limiting desires also enhances creativity. When you're not constantly seeking external solutions, you become more resourceful with what you have. This creativity extends to all areas of life, from finding joy in simple activities to discovering new ways to connect with others. By focusing on what you already have, you unlock possibilities that might have been overlooked in the pursuit of more. Limiting desires fosters a deeper sense of contentment. Contentment is not complacency. It's the ability to find peace and joy in the present, regardless of external circumstances. When you limit your desires, you create a foundation of contentment that is steady and unshakable. This foundation allows you to approach life with gratitude, clarity, and a profound sense of freedom. The path to limiting desires is not about denying yourself, but about discovering what truly fulfills you. It's about releasing the weight of unnecessary wants and finding the calm that comes from appreciating enough. By embracing this practice, you create a simpler, more intentional life, where peace and joy are no longer distant goals, but present realities. Limiting desires creates space for peace, allowing you to focus on what truly matters. Yet, even when desires are tempered and priorities aligned, life often feels chaotic. Responsibilities pile up, distractions pull you in countless directions, and the world seems to spin faster than ever. Clarity feels elusive, and overwhelm becomes a constant companion. The Stoics faced their own storms of chaos, and they left behind tools to help us navigate these complexities with resilience and focus. Finding clarity in the midst of chaos is not about escaping life's demands, but about mastering how to engage with them. Chaos often begins in the mind. It's not just the external demands of life, but the internal reactions, worry, doubt, and scattered thoughts that create the sense of overwhelm. The Stoics taught that clarity comes from understanding what you can control and letting go of the rest. This principle is not just philosophical, it's deeply practical. When faced with a flood of responsibilities, the first step is to pause and assess. What truly requires your attention? What can you delegate, defer, or release? This simple act of sorting transforms chaos into manageable tasks. Another powerful Stoic tool for clarity is the practice of prioritization. Not all tasks hold equal weight, yet in the rush of life, it's easy to treat everything as urgent. By focusing on what aligns with your core values and long-term goals, you reduce the noise of less important distractions. This clarity of purpose acts as a compass, guiding you through even the most overwhelming circumstances. Mindfulness is another practice that brings clarity to an overwhelmed mind. When thoughts race or emotions surge, mindfulness grounds you in the present moment. The Stoics believed in the power of presence, not as an escape, but as a way to fully engage with reality. By anchoring yourself in the here and now, you create the mental space to think clearly and act intentionally. This presence reduces the sense of being pulled in multiple directions, replacing it with a focused calm. The practice of journaling, embraced by Stoics like Marcus Aurelius, is a practical tool for navigating chaos. Writing down your thoughts, challenges, and plans allows you to externalize the mental clutter. When everything feels jumbled in your mind, journaling provides structure and clarity. It helps you identify patterns, address concerns, and map out solutions. The act of writing slows the mind, creating space for reflection and insight. Perspective is another cornerstone of Stoic practice. Overwhelm often magnifies problems, making them seem larger than they truly are. The Stoics encouraged stepping back and viewing challenges from a broader perspective. Ask yourself how much this will matter a year from now. Consider what advice you would give to a friend facing the same situation. This shift in perspective reduces the emotional weight of chaos, allowing you to approach it with a calmer, clearer mind. Breathing exercises are another simple yet effective tool for clarity. When stress rises, the breath often becomes shallow or irregular, signaling to the body that it's under threat. Deep, deliberate breathing interrupts this cycle, calming both the mind and body. A slow inhale, a brief pause, and a longer exhale reset your nervous system, creating a foundation for focused thought and action. Boundaries also play a critical role in finding clarity. When life feels chaotic, it's often because you've taken on more than you can reasonably handle. Setting limits on your time and energy is not a weakness. It's a strength. By saying no to what doesn't align with your priorities, you say yes to what truly matters. These boundaries create the mental and emotional space needed to navigate complexity with resilience. Reflection is another practice that enhances clarity. At the end of each day, take a moment to review what went well, what could have gone better, and what you learned. This habit doesn't just provide insight, it prepares you for the challenges ahead. Reflection turns chaos into a learning experience, transforming difficulties into stepping stones for growth. Stoic exercises like negative visualization can also bring clarity. By contemplating the worst-case scenario, you prepare your mind for challenges without succumbing to fear. This doesn't mean dwelling on negativity, but equipping yourself to face it with resilience. When you've considered what could go wrong, the chaos loses its power to overwhelm, and you gain the confidence to act. Another key to navigating complexity is simplifying where you can. Complexity often arises from overcomplicating tasks or situations. Ask yourself if there's a simpler way to achieve your goal. Streamlining your approach doesn't mean cutting corners. It means reducing unnecessary steps and focusing on what's essential. This practice not only saves time, but also clears mental space. Gratitude is another powerful tool for finding clarity amidst chaos. When life feels overwhelming, it's easy to focus on what's going wrong. Gratitude shifts your attention to what's going right, grounding you in a sense of abundance rather than lack. This perspective doesn't ignore challenges, but balances them with the recognition of life's blessings. Clarity also comes from aligning your actions with your values. Chaos often arises when your efforts are scattered, pulled in directions that don't truly matter to you. By grounding yourself in your core principles, you create a steady foundation that guides your decisions. This alignment reduces the noise of conflicting priorities, allowing you to move through life with purpose and focus. Emotional regulation is another essential aspect of finding clarity. When emotions run high, they cloud judgment and fuel chaos. The Stoics taught that while you can't control your emotions, you can control your response to them. By observing your emotions without acting on them immediately, you create space for reason to guide your actions. This practice brings calm and clarity, even in the midst of turmoil. Flexibility is another Stoic principle that helps navigate complexity. Life rarely unfolds as planned, and rigid expectations often lead to frustration. By embracing adaptability, you learn to flow with change rather than resist it. This doesn't mean abandoning your goals, but approaching them with a willingness to adjust and find new paths. Flexibility reduces the stress of chaos and opens the door to creative solutions. Finding clarity in chaos requires trust in yourself, in the process, and in the resilience you've built through past challenges. The Stoics believed that every difficulty holds an opportunity for growth. By approaching chaos with curiosity rather than fear, you unlock its lessons and transform it into a source of strength. This trust doesn't eliminate complexity, but it equips you to face it with confidence and clarity. Life's complexities are inevitable, but overwhelm is not. By embracing Stoic practices, you gain the tools to navigate chaos with resilience and focus. Clarity is not found in avoiding life's demands, but in mastering how you engage with them, turning even the most turbulent moments into opportunities for growth and peace. Clarity amidst chaos is like a breath of fresh air in a storm. It steadies you, reveals your path, and makes action possible. Yet, even when the storm subsides, there remains another need that often goes unmet. The need to step back, to quiet the external noise and truly reconnect with yourself. Practicing intentional solitude is not about isolation. It's about finding strength and peace in moments of quiet. This deliberate disconnection from the world offers a chance to detox the mind, realign your priorities, and nurture a deeper connection with your own thoughts and feelings. In a world that constantly demands your attention, solitude can feel like a luxury, but it is a necessity. The endless stream of notifications, conversations, and commitments can drain your energy, leaving little room for reflection. Solitude provides the stillness required to recharge and listen to your inner voice. It's not about being alone out of necessity, but choosing to be alone to cultivate calm and clarity. Intentional solitude begins with creating space for silence. Silence isn't simply the absence of sound, it's the presence of peace. In the stillness of solitude, the mind has room to breathe. Thoughts that are often drowned out by daily distractions rise to the surface, offering insights and solutions that were hidden in the noise. This clarity doesn't happen instantly. It unfolds as you learn to sit with yourself, free from external inputs. One of the most profound benefits of solitude is its ability to foster self-awareness. When you're constantly surrounded by others' opinions, expectations, and emotions, it's easy to lose sight of your own. Solitude strips away these external influences, leaving you with only your thoughts. This unfiltered time with yourself allows you to understand your true feelings, motivations, and desires. It's a mirror that reflects who you are without distortion. Solitude also helps you reset your mental and emotional state. The demands of daily life can leave your mind cluttered, filled with half-formed thoughts and unresolved emotions. Taking time to disconnect provides an opportunity to sort through this mental clutter. It's a chance to let go of what no longer serves you and make space for clarity and peace. Another benefit of solitude is the creativity it sparks. Without the constant barrage of external stimuli, your mind is free to wander, explore, and connect ideas in new ways. Many of history's greatest thinkers and artists found their inspiration in solitude. This creative energy isn't limited to art or innovation. It extends to problem-solving, personal growth, and envisioning new possibilities for your life. Intentional solitude also deepens your appreciation for connection. When you step back from the world, you gain perspective on your relationships and interactions. Solitude allows you to reflect on what you value in others and how you want to show up for them. This reflection enhances your connections by making them more intentional and meaningful. The practice of solitude also builds emotional resilience. Spending time alone teaches you to be comfortable with yourself, reducing the fear of being alone or feeling lonely. This independence strengthens your ability to handle challenges as you learn to rely on your inner resources rather than seeking constant validation or support from others. Another important aspect of solitude is its role in decision-making. When faced with important choices, the noise of others' opinions can cloud your judgment. Solitude provides the space to weigh your options, consider your values, and make decisions with clarity and confidence. It allows you to act from a place of authenticity rather than external pressure. Practicing solitude also fosters mindfulness. Without the distractions of daily life, you become more attuned to the present moment. You notice the details of your surroundings, the rhythm of your breath, and the texture of your thoughts. This heightened awareness doesn't just enhance your time alone, it carries over into your daily life, making you more present and engaged. Solitude is also an opportunity to nurture self-compassion. In the quiet moments of reflection, you can acknowledge your struggles and achievements without judgment. This self-compassion is not indulgent, it's restorative. It strengthens your relationship with yourself, making you more resilient and grounded. Creating intentional solitude requires setting boundaries. In a world that values constant availability, carving out time for yourself can feel selfish, but it's an act of self-care. Communicate your need for solitude with those around you, and create a space, whether physical or mental, where you can retreat without interruption. This boundary not only protects your solitude, but also sets an example for others to honor their own need for quiet. The practice of solitude also encourages simplicity. When you strip away the distractions of daily life, you're left with the essentials. This simplicity helps you focus on what truly matters, whether it's a personal goal, a creative project, or simply being present with yourself. Solitude simplifies your inner world, reducing the noise and chaos that often accompany daily life. Solitude is not about withdrawing from life, it's about preparing to engage with it more fully. The time you spend alone strengthens your ability to connect with others, manage challenges, and pursue your goals. It's a reminder that peace and clarity don't come from external sources. They are cultivated within. To practice intentional solitude, start small. Begin with a few minutes of quiet time each day, gradually increasing as you become more comfortable. Use this time to reflect, meditate, or simply sit in stillness. There's no right or wrong way to practice solitude. The key is to create a space where you can be fully present with yourself. Solitude also helps you cultivate gratitude. In the stillness, you can reflect on the things you appreciate, both big and small. This gratitude shifts your perspective, reminding you of the abundance in your life and reducing the desire for more. It's a practice that connects you to the present moment and fosters a sense of peace. Solitude is a journey of self-discovery. In the quiet moments, you uncover truths about yourself that are often hidden in the noise of daily life. These insights help you grow, align with your values, and live more intentionally. Solitude isn't about escaping the world. It's about reconnecting with yourself so that you can engage with the world more authentically. In practicing intentional solitude, you find a sanctuary within yourself. This inner refuge doesn't just provide peace in the moment. It strengthens your ability to navigate life's complexities with calm and clarity. Solitude is not a withdrawal. It's a return, a way of coming home to yourself and finding the calm that lies within. Solitude offers clarity, helping you reconnect with your inner self and navigate life with renewed strength. Yet, even in the calm of self-reflection, life's inevitable setbacks test this inner peace. Challenges appear uninvited, shaking the foundations of our confidence and direction. However, what if adversity didn't have to diminish you? What if each setback held the potential to build resilience and growth? The Stoics believed that challenges are not barriers, but stepping stones, opportunities to shift your perspective and discover peace through transformation. Adversity is an unavoidable part of life, but how you perceive it determines its impact. When setbacks arise, the immediate reaction is often frustration or defeat, a sense of unfairness that clouds judgment. The Stoic approach begins with reframing, choosing to see the challenge as a teacher rather than an obstacle. This shift in mindset doesn't diminish the difficulty, but invites you to ask, what can I learn from this? Reframing adversity starts with acknowledging its presence without resistance. Denying a setback's reality only prolongs its hold over you. Acceptance is not resignation. It's the first step toward taking constructive action. By facing challenges head-on, you reclaim your power to respond. The Stoics believed that every obstacle has within it the seed of its own solution, if you approach it with patience and clarity. One of the most powerful tools for reframing adversity is focusing on what is within your control. Often, setbacks feel overwhelming because they involve elements outside your influence. By distinguishing between what you can and can't change, you conserve your energy for meaningful action. This focus not only reduces stress, but also creates a sense of empowerment as you direct your efforts toward areas where you can make a difference. Adversity also reveals your inner strength. In the moment, challenges can feel insurmountable, but looking back, you often see how they shaped you. The Stoics understood that hardship builds resilience, much like muscles grow stronger under strain. Each setback you face and overcome adds to your capacity to handle future difficulties with grace and confidence. This perspective transforms adversity from something to fear into something to embrace. Gratitude plays an unexpected role in reframing setbacks. While it may seem counterintuitive, finding gratitude in difficult moments shifts your focus from loss to opportunity. Gratitude doesn't ignore the pain of a setback, but highlights the lessons and growth it brings. For example, a failure might teach you perseverance, a rejection might redirect you to a better path, and a loss might deepen your appreciation for what remains. Another Stoic principle for navigating setbacks is understanding that adversity is temporary. Challenges often feel all-encompassing in the moment, but they pass with time. Keeping this perspective reduces the emotional weight of setbacks, reminding you that they are a chapter, not the entirety of your story. This understanding helps you approach difficulties with patience and trust in the process of growth. Adversity also tests and refines your values. In the face of setbacks, what truly matters becomes clear. The Stoics saw challenges as opportunities to align your actions with your principles. If you value perseverance, a setback becomes a chance to practice it. If you value integrity, adversity tests your commitment to it. These moments deepen your connection to your values, strengthening your character. Mindfulness is another practice that aids in reframing adversity. By staying present, you prevent your mind from spiraling into worst-case scenarios or dwelling on past mistakes. Mindfulness anchors you in the here and now, where action is possible. It helps you focus on the next step rather than becoming overwhelmed by the magnitude of the challenge. Another Stoic technique for reframing setbacks is premeditatio malorum, or the premeditation of evils. By contemplating potential difficulties in advance, you prepare your mind to face them with resilience. This practice is not about pessimism, but about equipping yourself to handle adversity without surprise or panic. When setbacks occur, you are mentally fortified to navigate them constructively. Adversity also strengthens your relationships, as it often reveals who truly supports you. Challenges can bring people closer, fostering connection through shared struggles or acts of kindness. The Stoics valued community and saw it as a source of strength during difficult times. By leaning on and supporting others, you find mutual resilience and encouragement. Setbacks also challenge you to innovate and adapt. When your usual approach fails, adversity pushes you to think creatively and explore new solutions. This adaptability not only resolves the immediate challenge, but also equips you with skills and perspectives that enhance your ability to navigate future obstacles. The willingness to adapt transforms setbacks into catalysts for growth. Another way to reframe adversity is by focusing on effort rather than outcomes. Success is often measured by external results, but the Stoics emphasize the importance of effort and intention. When setbacks occur, reflecting on whether you acted with integrity and gave your best can bring peace, regardless of the outcome. This perspective shifts your focus from what went wrong to what you did right, fostering a sense of accomplishment and resilience. Forgiveness, both of yourself and others, is another important aspect of turning setbacks into growth. Holding on to blame or guilt only prolongs the pain of a setback. By forgiving, you release the emotional weight of the past and create space for healing and progress. This forgiveness doesn't excuse mistakes or harm, but acknowledges that growth comes from moving forward, not staying stuck. Adversity also offers a chance to re-evaluate your goals and priorities. Sometimes setbacks occur because the path you were on wasn't aligned with your true purpose. These moments of disruption force you to pause and reflect, often leading to a clearer and more fulfilling direction. The Stoics saw this redirection not as failure, but as providence, a realignment with what is meant to be. Another valuable practice during setbacks is self-compassion. It's easy to be harsh on yourself when things go wrong, but this criticism only deepens the wound. Treating yourself with kindness and understanding fosters resilience and a more constructive response. Self-compassion doesn't mean ignoring your mistakes. It means addressing them with care and a commitment to growth. Adversity also teaches humility. Setbacks remind you of your limitations and the unpredictability of life. This humility isn't about diminishing yourself, but about acknowledging that you are part of a larger system. It encourages gratitude for the things that do go right and a deeper appreciation for the support of others. The Stoic approach to adversity emphasizes the importance of perseverance. Setbacks often tempt you to give up, but growth comes from continuing forward, even when the path is difficult. Perseverance isn't just about pushing through. It's about adapting, learning, and finding strength in the process. Each step you take, no matter how small, brings you closer to overcoming the challenge. Setbacks are not the end of your story. They are moments of transformation, opportunities to grow stronger, wiser, and more resilient. By reframing adversity through the lens of Stoicism, you shift from seeing challenges as obstacles to embracing them as essential steps on your journey. Through this perspective, peace and strength are not found in avoiding setbacks, but in mastering how you rise from them. Turning setbacks into opportunities for growth gives us resilience and purpose. Yet, even the most prepared mind can find itself overwhelmed in the heat of the moment. When emotions surge, clarity fades, and decisions feel harder to make. The need for instant calm becomes undeniable. The Stoics knew that the breath and the body hold a key to balance, a steady rhythm that can anchor the mind, quiet chaos, and restore focus. By harnessing mindful breathing and grounding techniques, you can cultivate a calm that carries you through life's challenges with grace and steadiness. The breath is often overlooked, yet it is the foundation of life. It is constant, present from the first moment you enter the world until the last. Despite its constancy, it operates in the background, unnoticed and undervalued. Yet, the Stoics understood the power of the breath as a bridge between the mind and body. When emotions spiral out of control, regulating the breath can guide the mind back to equilibrium. The act of deliberate breathing is more than a physiological tool. It's a reminder of the control you hold over your internal state, even when the external world feels uncontrollable. A simple, focused breath can halt the momentum of stress. When you inhale deeply and exhale slowly, the nervous system responds by calming the body. This physical shift interrupts the fight-or-flight response triggered by stress, reducing heart rate and tension. It's an act of reclaiming your power in moments when everything feels overwhelming. The simplicity of this practice makes it accessible anywhere, whether you're navigating a conflict, facing a daunting task, or simply feeling unsettled. Stoic teachings align seamlessly with the practice of grounding through the body. Marcus Aurelius often reminded himself to return to the present moment, to focus on what is immediately in front of him. Grounding techniques build on this wisdom, using sensory experiences to anchor you in the now. When the mind races with worry or regret, grounding brings you back to reality, where action is possible and peace is within reach. One effective technique is the 4-7-8 breathing method. Inhale for 4 counts, hold for 7, and exhale for 8. This pattern not only soothes the nervous system, but also draws your full attention to the breath, breaking the loop of anxious thoughts. The extended exhale encourages the body to release tension, fostering a deep sense of calm. By focusing on this rhythmic pattern, the mind finds relief from the distractions and emotions that once consumed it. The Stoics also valued self-awareness, which is central to mindful breathing. Observing your breath without judgment allows you to notice its natural rhythm and how it reflects your emotional state. Shallow, rapid breaths often signal stress, while slow, deep breaths indicate calm. By cultivating this awareness, you develop the ability to respond to your emotions instead of being ruled by them. The breath becomes a barometer, guiding you toward balance when you veer off course. Grounding exercises complement mindful breathing by connecting you to the physical world. When emotions threaten to overwhelm, grounding redirects your focus to sensations that anchor you in the present. For instance, pressing your feet firmly against the ground, feeling the texture of an object in your hand, or listening intently to surrounding sounds are all grounding practices. These acts engage the senses, reminding you that the present moment is manageable and safe. The Stoics often emphasized the importance of intentional action, and grounding is an active choice to redirect your energy. Instead of feeding spiraling thoughts, grounding shifts your focus to tangible experiences. This shift not only calms the mind, but also reduces the intensity of emotions, creating space for reason and clarity to emerge. It's a way of regaining composure in moments of uncertainty. Another powerful technique is box breathing, often used by high-stress professionals like first responders and athletes. Breathe in for 4 counts, hold for 4, exhale for 4, and pause for 4 before repeating. This cyclical pattern slows the heart rate and centers the mind, making it especially effective during moments of acute stress. The consistent rhythm of box breathing mirrors the Stoic principle of steady, intentional living, teaching you to approach challenges with a calm and measured mindset. Grounding and breathwork also reinforce the Stoic practice of focusing on what is within your control. In a chaotic situation, the breath is always accessible. It doesn't depend on external circumstances or resources. This internal locus of control is empowering, reminding you that even when life feels uncertain, you have tools to steady yourself. By focusing on your breath, you reclaim agency over your experience, even in the face of external turmoil. Breath and balance also teach patience. The act of slowing down your breath mirrors the act of pausing before reacting. This pause creates a gap between stimulus and response, allowing you to choose your actions wisely. Instead of reacting impulsively, you respond with clarity and intention. This skill, rooted in breathwork, cultivates emotional intelligence and strengthens your ability to navigate challenges with grace. Practicing these techniques regularly builds resilience. Just as physical exercise strengthens muscles, consistent breathwork and grounding strengthen your ability to remain calm under pressure. Over time, this practice becomes second nature, a steadying presence in your life. When challenges arise, you instinctively turn to these tools, finding calm in the midst of chaos. Another benefit of breath and balance is their ability to enhance focus. The mind often scatters under stress, jumping from one worry to the next. Mindful breathing brings your attention back to the present, sharpening your ability to concentrate. This focus doesn't just improve your immediate response to challenges, it carries over into your daily life, enhancing productivity and presence. These practices also foster a deeper connection to your body. The Stoics often emphasize the importance of living in harmony with nature, and this includes your own physical nature. Breathwork and grounding remind you that the body is a resource for calm and stability, capable of supporting you when the mind feels turbulent. By cultivating this connection, you develop a greater sense of trust in yourself. The simplicity of these techniques is part of their power. In a world that often seeks complex solutions to emotional challenges, the breath offers a quiet reminder that sometimes the most effective tools are the simplest. Stoic teachings echo this wisdom, encouraging you to return to basics when life feels overwhelming. The breath is always with you, a constant source of calm in an ever-changing world. Incorporating these practices into your routine doesn't require significant time or effort. Start with a few minutes of mindful breathing each day, gradually increasing as you become more comfortable. Use grounding techniques during moments of stress, whether it's a challenging conversation, a busy day, or a moment of doubt. Over time, these practices become a natural part of your life, providing steady support when you need it most. The beauty of breath and balance lies in their universality. They are accessible to everyone, regardless of circumstances. Whether you're navigating a minor frustration or a significant life challenge, these techniques offer a path to calm and clarity. They remind you that peace is not found outside yourself. It's cultivated within, one steady breath at a time. The power of breath and balance brings calm amidst the chaos, grounding you when life feels unsteady. Yet, even with a steady breath and a calm mind, another layer of clarity awaits. Much of life's stress comes not from the effort we exert, but from tying our peace to outcomes beyond our control. Redirecting focus toward virtues rather than outcomes allows a profound shift, freeing the mind from unnecessary strain and fostering a deeper sense of serenity. This is where true inner strength begins, not in what you achieve, but in how you align your actions with values that matter. Focusing on virtues changes how you approach every aspect of life. Instead of measuring success by the results you get, you begin to evaluate it by the integrity of your actions. This shift doesn't reduce ambition, but refines it. You can still strive for excellence, but your sense of fulfillment no longer depends on external recognition or uncontrollable results. This mindset fosters peace because it anchors your happiness in what you can control, your thoughts, decisions, and behaviors. Virtues act as a compass, guiding you through complex situations. When challenges arise, you might feel lost or uncertain about the best course of action. Returning to virtues like courage, kindness, patience, and honesty provides clarity. These values simplify decisions by reminding you of what truly matters. For example, when faced with a difficult conversation, focusing on honesty and respect can guide you to approach it with authenticity, regardless of how the other person responds. Aligning with virtues also reduces mental strain caused by overthinking. When your focus is on living according to your principles rather than predicting outcomes, you spend less time worrying about the future. This clarity creates space for calm, allowing you to channel your energy into the present moment. Living in alignment with virtues doesn't eliminate challenges, but it provides a steady foundation that makes them easier to face. Another benefit of focusing on virtues is the resilience it builds. Outcomes are often unpredictable, shaped by factors beyond your control. When you tie your happiness to results, setbacks feel personal and defeating. Virtue-based living shifts your perspective, helping you see that success lies in effort and intention rather than external markers. This mindset helps you bounce back from disappointment with grace, knowing that you stayed true to your values. Practicing virtues also strengthens your sense of self. In a world filled with shifting expectations and external pressures, it's easy to lose sight of who you are. Virtues ground you, providing a consistent framework that reflects your core identity. This self-awareness fosters confidence as you become less influenced by fleeting trends or others' opinions and more aligned with what truly resonates with you. Focusing on virtues deepens your relationships as well. When your interactions are guided by values like compassion and humility, you connect with others on a deeper level. Instead of trying to control how others perceive or respond to you, you focus on treating them with respect and kindness. This shift reduces tension and fosters trust, creating bonds rooted in authenticity rather than manipulation or performance. Another powerful aspect of virtue-focused living is its ability to foster gratitude. When you measure your success by the quality of your character rather than external achievements, you become more aware of the opportunities life provides to practice these virtues. A challenging co-worker becomes a chance to cultivate patience. A difficult decision becomes an opportunity to practice courage. This perspective transforms obstacles into growth, enriching your experience of life. This mindset also encourages presence. Outcomes often pull your focus into the future, creating anxiety about what might happen. Virtues, on the other hand, root you in the now, reminding you to engage fully with the task or interaction at hand. This presence enhances not only your effectiveness, but also your enjoyment of life, as you learn to appreciate the process rather than fixating solely on results. Virtues provide a sense of stability in an unpredictable world. Outcomes fluctuate, but virtues remain constant. They act as an anchor, keeping you steady when external circumstances shift. This steadiness brings peace, as you realize that while you can't control the waves, you can control how you steer your ship. Virtue-focused living reminds you that true strength comes not from avoiding challenges, but from navigating them with integrity. Living according to virtues also enhances your sense of purpose. When you're caught up in chasing outcomes, it's easy to lose sight of why you're pursuing them in the first place. Focusing on virtues reconnects you with your deeper motivations. Instead of asking, "What will this achieve?" you begin to ask, "How can I act in alignment with what I believe?" This shift brings a sense of fulfillment that goes beyond momentary success. Part 1. Another important aspect of virtue-based living is the humility it cultivates. By recognizing that outcomes are not entirely within your control, you let go of the need for perfection or domination. This humility doesn't diminish your effort, it enriches it, freeing you to focus on doing your best without the burden of unrealistic expectations. This approach fosters a quiet confidence rooted in self-awareness and balance. Focusing on virtues also sharpens your decision-making. When outcomes dominate your thoughts, decisions become clouded by fear of failure or desire for approval. Virtue-based living clears this fog, helping you evaluate choices through the lens of your values. This clarity leads to decisions that reflect your true self, reducing regret and fostering peace of mind. Practicing virtues is not about achieving moral perfection, it's about striving to do better each day. This approach encourages self-compassion, as you recognize that growth is a journey, not a destination. When you fall short, you learn from it without harsh self-criticism. This kindness toward yourself strengthens your resolve to keep improving, making the practice of virtues both sustainable and rewarding. Another profound benefit of focusing on virtues is the sense of freedom it brings. When you release the need to control outcomes, you free yourself from the anxiety and disappointment that often accompany unmet expectations. This freedom doesn't mean giving up on goals. It means pursuing them with detachment, knowing that your worth is not tied to the result, but to the integrity of your effort. Virtue-focused living also connects you with something greater than yourself. Whether it's a sense of duty, a commitment to community, or a belief in universal principles, virtues remind you that your actions have meaning beyond personal gain. This connection fosters a sense of belonging and purpose, enriching your life with depth and meaning. The Stoics understood that focusing on virtues is not about renouncing ambition, but about elevating it. When your goals are aligned with your values, ambition becomes a force for good, driving you to contribute meaningfully to the world. This alignment reduces inner conflict, as your actions reflect your true priorities rather than external pressures. Virtue-based living also fosters a sense of contentment. By measuring success by the quality of your character rather than external achievements, you create a sense of fulfillment that is not dependent on circumstances. This contentment is not complacency. It's a deep, unshakable peace that comes from knowing you are living in alignment with what truly matters. In embracing virtues over outcomes, you cultivate a life that is both purposeful and serene. This shift doesn't require grand gestures or dramatic changes. It begins with small, intentional acts of alignment each day. Over time, these acts create a foundation of peace and fulfillment, reminding you that true success lies not in what you achieve, but in how you live. Focusing on virtues over outcomes shifts the way you live, aligning your actions with enduring values rather than fleeting results. Yet, even when guided by strong principles, the weight of complexity can still cloud the mind and disrupt peace. The world's noise, its endless demands, distractions and clutter, can pull you away from what truly matters. To find lasting tranquility, embracing simplicity offers a way forward. It's not about deprivation, but about clarity, choosing to focus on what enriches your life while releasing what drains it. Simplicity is both an external and internal practice. On the outside, it involves decluttering your environment and lifestyle, shedding unnecessary possessions, commitments, and distractions. Internally, it means simplifying your thoughts, expectations, and emotional responses. Together, these practices create a life that feels lighter, freer, and more in tune with your values. The first step toward simplicity is identifying what truly matters to you. Modern life often pushes us to accumulate more possessions, achievements, and experiences, without questioning whether they bring lasting satisfaction. By reflecting on your core values, you can determine which aspects of your life aligned with them and which are mere noise. This awareness allows you to focus your time and energy on what genuinely fulfills you. Physical simplicity often serves as a starting point for this process. Clearing out material clutter creates a sense of order and space, both in your surroundings and in your mind. Each item you own carries a mental weight, from maintenance to decisions about its use. By letting go of what no longer serves a purpose, you reduce this burden. This act is not about minimalism for its own sake, but about creating an environment that supports clarity and peace. Embracing simplicity also extends to how you spend your time. Overcommitting leads to exhaustion and stress, leaving little room for reflection or joy. By setting boundaries and prioritizing what truly matters, you free yourself from the cycle of constant busyness. Saying no to unnecessary obligations creates space for meaningful experiences and deeper connections. Simplicity in thought is equally important. The mind often complicates situations with overthinking, worry, and endless what-ifs. The Stoics taught that much of life's distress comes not from events themselves, but from the stories we attach to them. Simplifying your thoughts involves challenging these stories and focusing on the facts. This practice reduces mental clutter, helping you approach challenges with clarity and calm. Another aspect of simplicity is streamlining your goals. While ambition can be a powerful motivator, too many goals can scatter your energy and dilute your focus. By narrowing your efforts to a few meaningful pursuits, you increase the likelihood of success and satisfaction. This approach doesn't limit your potential, but channels it more effectively. Simplifying your relationships also contributes to lasting peace. It's not about cutting people out of your life, but about nurturing connections that align with your values and letting go of those that drain your energy. Quality matters more than quantity, and focusing on meaningful relationships fosters deeper bonds and greater emotional well-being. Simplicity also encourages presence. In a world filled with distractions, it's easy to rush through life without fully experiencing it. By simplifying your environment and commitments, you create space to engage with the present moment. This presence enhances your ability to appreciate life's simple pleasures, from a conversation with a friend to the beauty of nature. The practice of gratitude naturally arises from simplicity. When you let go of excess, you begin to see the value of what remains. Gratitude shifts your focus from what you lack to what you have, fostering contentment and reducing the desire for more. This mindset doesn't ignore life's challenges, but balances them with an appreciation for its blessings. Embracing simplicity also fosters resilience. Complexity often amplifies stress, making challenges feel overwhelming. Simplifying your life reduces this emotional weight, allowing you to approach difficulties with a clearer mind and steadier heart. This resilience doesn't eliminate challenges, but equips you to navigate them more effectively. Simplicity enhances creativity as well. When your mind isn't cluttered with unnecessary distractions, it has the space to explore new ideas and perspectives. This creativity extends beyond traditional artistic pursuits to problem-solving, innovation, and personal growth. By simplifying your surroundings and mindset, you create an environment where creativity can thrive. Another benefit of simplicity is its ability to deepen your connection to nature. The natural world embodies simplicity. Its rhythms, patterns, and beauty are straightforward yet profound. Spending time in nature can inspire you to simplify your own life, reconnecting you with the essentials and grounding you in a sense of peace. Simplicity also aligns with sustainability. Consuming less and valuing what you have reduces your environmental footprint, fostering a sense of responsibility toward the planet. This alignment between personal choices and global impact adds another layer of meaning to the practice of simplicity, making it a path that benefits not only yourself, but also the world around you. This approach also invites you to redefine success. Traditional definitions often center on accumulation of wealth, status, or possessions. Simplicity challenges this narrative, encouraging you to measure success by fulfillment, peace, and alignment with your values. This redefinition frees you from the pressure to constantly achieve more, allowing you to find contentment in the life you're building. Another key aspect of simplicity is letting go of perfectionism. The pursuit of perfection complicates life, creating unnecessary stress and dissatisfaction. Simplicity teaches you to embrace imperfection, focusing on progress and effort rather than flawless outcomes. This shift reduces pressure and fosters a sense of peace as you learn to appreciate your journey rather than obsess over its flaws. Practicing simplicity also strengthens your relationship with yourself. In the stillness created by a simpler life, you have the opportunity to reflect, grow, and reconnect with who you are. This self-awareness deepens your sense of purpose and enhances your ability to live authentically. Simplicity doesn't mean giving up joy or ambition. It means prioritizing what truly matters. It's about creating a life that reflects your values, where each choice contributes to your well-being rather than detracting from it. This intentionality fosters a sense of harmony as your actions align with your goals and principles. Embracing simplicity is a journey, not a destination. It requires ongoing reflection and adjustment as your values and circumstances evolve. By approaching it with patience and curiosity, you create a life that feels meaningful and manageable. This journey doesn't eliminate challenges, but equips you to face them with clarity and confidence. At its heart, simplicity is about finding peace in the essentials. It's a reminder that life's richness isn't found in excess, but in the depth of your experiences, relationships, and values. By letting go of what no longer serves you, you make room for what truly matters, creating a life that is both tranquil and fulfilling. Simplicity clears away the unnecessary, making space for a life aligned with your values and rooted in tranquility. Yet even in a simplified life, the mind often remains a battleground where negative thoughts creep in, sowing doubt, fear, and frustration. These thoughts are relentless, whispering "what if" and "not enough," pulling you away from peace. Marcus Aurelius, the Stoic philosopher-emperor, knew the weight of these inner struggles and left us a timeless guide to confronting and overcoming negative thinking. His wisdom provides tools to quiet the storm within and build a mindset that thrives in calm and clarity. Negative thinking often begins with small seeds, planted by past experiences, external criticism, or self-doubt. Left unchecked, these seeds grow into overwhelming narratives that cloud judgment and distort reality. Marcus Aurelius emphasized the importance of recognizing these thoughts early, identifying them for what they are: temporary, powerless, and ultimately within your control. The first step to killing negative thinking is awareness, bringing these thoughts out of the shadows and into the light of reason. The Stoics believed that thoughts are not inherently good or bad. Their power lies in the meaning we assign to them. A fleeting moment of doubt can spiral into a day of negativity if we feed it with attention and belief. Marcus Aurelius urged his readers to challenge the assumptions behind their thoughts, asking whether they are based on truth or fear. By examining your thoughts with curiosity and reason, you separate reality from distortion, weakening negativity's hold. A powerful method for managing negative thinking is reframing. The Stoics taught that every situation is neutral until you assign it meaning. When faced with a negative thought, ask how you can view it differently. Instead of seeing a mistake as failure, reframe it as a lesson. Instead of interpreting criticism as a personal attack, see it as an opportunity for growth. Reframing shifts your perspective, transforming negativity into a source of strength and resilience. Marcus Aurelius also emphasized the importance of focusing on the present moment. Much of negative thinking stems from dwelling on the past or fearing the future, both realms beyond your control. By grounding yourself in the here and now, you quiet the mind's chatter and find clarity in what is immediately before you. This practice doesn't ignore the past or future, but keeps them in their proper place, freeing your mind from unnecessary burdens. Another way to combat negativity is through gratitude. Marcus Aurelius often reminded himself to be thankful for the small blessings in life, even amid challenges. Gratitude shifts your focus from what's wrong to what's right, interrupting the cycle of negative thinking. It's not about ignoring difficulties, but about balancing them with an appreciation for the good that exists alongside them. Self-discipline is another key element of killing negative thinking. Marcus Aurelius believed in the power of controlling your mind through deliberate effort. When negative thoughts arise, choose not to dwell on them. Redirect your focus to something constructive, a task, a positive memory, or an inspiring idea. This practice trains your mind to let go of negativity rather than feeding it, strengthening your ability to maintain calm and focus. Marcus Aurelius also encouraged self-compassion. Negative thinking often thrives on self-criticism, magnifying mistakes and flaws. By treating yourself with the same kindness and understanding you would offer a friend, you disarm negativity's power. This doesn't mean excusing poor behavior, but recognizing that growth comes from patience and care, not harsh judgment. Another strategy for overcoming negative thinking is adopting a broader perspective. Marcus Aurelius often reflected on the vastness of the universe and the fleeting nature of human concerns. This perspective helps place your worries in context, reducing their emotional weight. By seeing your challenges as part of a larger picture, you gain a sense of proportion and peace. The Stoics also valued community as a source of strength. Negative thinking can isolate you, making you feel alone in your struggles. Reaching out to trusted friends or mentors can provide perspective, encouragement, and support. Sharing your thoughts with others often reveals that they are not as insurmountable as they seemed when confined to your mind. Another tool Marcus Aurelius advocated is journaling. Writing down your thoughts provides clarity, helping you see patterns and understand your emotions. Journaling allows you to externalize negativity, turning it from an overwhelming force into something tangible and manageable. This practice fosters self-awareness and creates a space for reflection and growth. Physical well-being also plays a role in managing negative thinking. Marcus Aurelius understood the connection between the body and mind, emphasizing the importance of exercise, rest, and nourishment. A healthy body supports a healthy mind, reducing the impact of stress and improving your ability to navigate challenges. Taking care of yourself physically creates a foundation for mental resilience. Breathing exercises, another Stoic technique, provide immediate relief from negative thinking. When your mind feels overwhelmed, slowing your breath calms your nervous system and interrupts the spiral of negativity. This practice not only reduces stress, but also brings your focus back to the present, where solutions and peace can be found. Marcus Aurelius also stressed the importance of focusing on your actions rather than outcomes. Negative thinking often arises when you tie your worth to results beyond your control. By redirecting your attention to the effort and intention behind your actions, you regain a sense of agency and reduce the power of external factors to influence your peace. Another way to combat negativity is by practicing detachment. Marcus Aurelius encouraged letting go of things that do not serve your well-being. whether they are possessions, relationships, or thoughts. Detachment doesn't mean indifference. It means freeing yourself from the need for control over what you cannot change. This practice creates mental space for clarity and peace. Marcus Aurelius also advocated for setting boundaries with your thoughts. Just as you would protect your time and energy from external demands, guard your mind against negativity. When unhelpful thoughts arise, acknowledge them, but refuse to let them linger. This boundary creates a mental environment where positivity and resilience can thrive. Mindfulness is another powerful tool for managing negative thinking. By observing your thoughts without judgment, you develop the ability to choose which ones to engage with. This practice helps you separate yourself from your thoughts, recognizing that they are not you, but fleeting mental events. This detachment weakens negativity's grip and fosters a sense of inner calm. Marcus Aurelius reminded himself daily of the impermanence of all things, including negative thoughts. This perspective helps you see that no emotion or mindset lasts forever, reducing the urgency and weight of negativity. By acknowledging the temporary nature of your thoughts, you create space for change and renewal. The practice of aligning your thoughts with your values also helps counter negativity. When your mind is focused on what you stand for, honesty, kindness, courage, it has less room for self-doubt or fear. Living in alignment with your principles strengthens your sense of purpose and reduces the power of negative thinking to derail you. Marcus Aurelius emphasized the importance of taking consistent, small steps toward improvement. Killing negative thinking is not about achieving instant mastery, but about making steady progress each day. Each time you challenge a negative thought, practice gratitude, or choose a positive action, you weaken negativity's hold and build a foundation of peace. Negative thinking may always arise, but it doesn't have to control you. By applying the wisdom of Marcus Aurelius and the practices of Stoicism, you cultivate a mindset that confronts negativity with strength and grace. These tools help you build resilience, clarity, and lasting calm, transforming your inner world into a place of peace and purpose. Conquering negative thinking unlocks a space within you for clarity and calm, yet fear often lurks beneath those thoughts, waiting to take hold. Fear, in its many forms, fear of failure, loss, rejection, or uncertainty, can paralyze the mind and keep you from pursuing a meaningful life. The Stoics understood that fear is not just a reaction to external events, but a product of how the mind interprets them. They believed that by reshaping your relationship with fear, you can not only overcome it, but also transform it into a force for growth and change. These lessons hold the power to help you face your fears and live with greater courage and freedom. Fear gains strength from the unknown, feeding on uncertainty and doubt. The Stoics taught that one way to diminish fear is through preparation. By thoughtfully considering potential challenges and equipping yourself with knowledge and strategies, you reduce the power of uncertainty. This preparation doesn't mean fixating on worst-case scenarios, but calmly acknowledging them and planning how to respond. When you face a fear, the clarity of preparation turns apprehension into confidence. Another source of fear is the belief that certain outcomes define your worth. The Stoics urged people to detach their sense of value from external results, focusing instead on their character and actions. Fear often arises from tying your identity to things you cannot fully control, such as success, approval, or possessions. By shifting your focus to living with integrity and aligning with your values, you weaken fear's grip. You begin to see that even if an outcome isn't ideal, it doesn't diminish who you are. Perspective is a powerful tool for addressing fear. The Stoics often reminded themselves of the impermanence of life and the insignificance of many worries in the grand scheme of existence. This broader view helps reduce the emotional weight of fear, making challenges feel smaller and more manageable. When fear looms large, stepping back and considering the bigger picture can provide relief and strength. It shifts your focus from the immediate discomfort to the opportunities for growth and understanding. The practice of courage is central to overcoming fear. For the Stoics, courage wasn't the absence of fear, but the ability to act despite it. Every time you face a fear, whether it's speaking up, taking a risk, or embracing change, you strengthen your resilience. Courage grows through action, and even small steps build confidence over time. This practice rewires your relationship with fear, showing you that it's not a barrier but an invitation to expand your comfort zone. Mindfulness also plays a role in managing fear. Fear often thrives on exaggerated thoughts about what might happen. By focusing on the present moment, you can interrupt these spirals of worry and ground yourself in reality. Mindfulness helps you separate fear from fact, revealing that many fears are not based on immediate threats, but on imagined possibilities. This awareness empowers you to respond to fear with clarity rather than reactivity. The Stoics also emphasize the importance of distinguishing between what you can control and what you cannot. Fear often arises when you feel helpless in the face of uncertainty. By identifying what is within your influence, you regain a sense of agency. This focus on your actions rather than external outcomes reduces the overwhelming nature of fear, reminding you that you always have the power to choose your response. Gratitude offers another pathway to quiet fear. Fear often stems from a sense of lack or insecurity, worrying about what you might lose or what you don't have. Gratitude shifts your focus to what you already possess, fostering a sense of abundance and security. This mindset doesn't eliminate challenges, but helps you face them from a place of strength and appreciation. Another way to overcome fear is through acceptance. The Stoics believed that resisting what is inevitable only amplifies suffering. Accepting that some outcomes are beyond your control doesn't mean giving up. It means releasing the emotional burden of fighting against reality. This acceptance creates space for peace and allows you to channel your energy into constructive action. Self-compassion is equally important when addressing fear. Fear often brings self-criticism, magnifying doubts and insecurities. By treating yourself with kindness and understanding, you create an inner environment that fosters courage and growth. Self-compassion doesn't mean avoiding responsibility, but approaching your fears with patience and care, recognizing that overcoming them is a process. Reframing fear as an opportunity for growth is another Stoic strategy. Fear often signals areas where you have room to expand and improve. Instead of avoiding fear, the Stoics encouraged leaning into it with curiosity. What can this fear teach you about your values, your priorities, or your strengths? This shift in perspective transforms fear from an obstacle into a guide, helping you grow into a stronger, more resilient version of yourself. The Stoics also valued community in navigating fear. Sharing your fears with trusted friends or mentors can provide support, perspective, and encouragement. Others may have faced similar challenges and can offer insights or reassurance. This sense of connection reminds you that you're not alone in your struggles, reducing the isolating effect of fear. Reflection is another powerful tool for addressing fear. By journaling or meditating on your fears, You gain clarity about their roots and triggers. This practice helps you understand whether your fears are based on reality or distorted perceptions. It also allows you to explore solutions and strategies, turning fear into a problem to be solved rather than an insurmountable force. Stoic teachings also highlight the role of daily habits in managing fear. Regular practices such as mindfulness, gratitude, and physical exercise build resilience, making you better equipped to face fears when they arise. These habits create a foundation of well-being that supports you in moments of challenge, reducing the intensity and frequency of fear. Another strategy is embracing imperfection. Fear often stems from the desire to avoid mistakes or failure. The Stoics viewed imperfection as a natural part of life and a necessary element of growth. By accepting that you will sometimes stumble, you free yourself from the paralysis of perfectionism. This acceptance fosters courage and a willingness to try, even when the outcome is uncertain. Visualization is another Stoic technique for addressing fear. By calmly contemplating potential challenges and their solutions, you prepare your mind to face them without panic. This practice doesn't focus on dwelling on worst-case scenarios, but on equipping yourself to handle difficulties with grace and resilience. Visualization transforms fear of the unknown into a sense of readiness and capability. The Stoics emphasize the importance of living with purpose. When you are clear about your values and priorities, fear has less power to derail you. Purpose provides a guiding light, helping you navigate challenges with confidence and determination. This focus on what truly matters reduces the noise of fear, reminding you of the strength and clarity that come from living in alignment with your principles. Fear may always exist, but it does not have to control your life. By applying these Stoic lessons, you can face your fears with courage and transform them into opportunities for growth and change. This process doesn't happen overnight, but with patience and practice, you build a mindset that thrives in clarity and peace, no matter what challenges arise. Facing fears with clarity and courage opens the door to growth and resilience. Yet beyond overcoming fear lies an even greater potential, rising above challenges and achieving extraordinary results through unwavering discipline and perspective. The Stoics believed that success is not a matter of competing against others, but mastering oneself. By focusing on internal strength and timeless principles, they revealed keys to living a life of purpose and impact, surpassing those who remain bound by fleeting distractions and shallow pursuits. These keys don't just lead to personal excellence, they empower you to rise beyond comparison and achieve a life defined by resilience, wisdom, and integrity. The first principle is self-discipline, the foundation of all lasting success. The Stoics viewed discipline as the ability to act in accordance with your values, even when it's difficult or inconvenient. Discipline doesn't just create habits, it strengthens your character, allowing you to navigate life with purpose rather than being swayed by fleeting impulses. Through discipline, you create consistency, and in consistency lies the power to surpass those who rely on bursts of motivation alone. While others falter in the face of discomfort, discipline keeps you grounded and moving forward. Another key is cultivating emotional mastery. Those who are ruled by emotions are easily thrown off course by frustration, disappointment, or anger. The Stoics taught that by observing your emotions without being consumed by them, you gain the ability to respond rather than react. This control allows you to navigate challenges with clarity, making decisions based on reason and values rather than fleeting moods. Emotional mastery is not about suppressing feelings, but about understanding them, using them as information rather than letting them dictate your actions. Clarity of purpose is another crucial principle. Many people drift through life without a clear sense of direction, pursuing goals that society or others impose on them. The Stoics believed that true success comes from aligning your actions with your deepest values and priorities. When you know your purpose, distractions lose their allure, and you can channel your energy into what truly matters. This focus doesn't just make you more productive, it gives your life meaning and direction. The ability to adapt to change is another powerful Stoic key. Life is unpredictable, and those who cling rigidly to their plans are often left frustrated when things don't go as expected. The Stoics embraced change as an inevitable part of life, seeing it as an opportunity for growth rather than a threat. By remaining flexible and open to new possibilities, you maintain resilience in the face of uncertainty. This adaptability allows you to thrive where others falter, turning obstacles into opportunities. Another essential principle is the practice of gratitude. While many people focus on what they lack, the Stoics emphasize the importance of appreciating what you have. Gratitude shifts your perspective, reducing envy and dissatisfaction. This mindset not only brings peace, but also fosters a sense of abundance, allowing you to approach challenges from a place of strength rather than fear. Gratitude also deepens your relationships, as it reminds you to value the people and experiences that enrich your life. The ability to focus on what is within your control is another cornerstone of Stoic success. Many people waste energy worrying about things they cannot influence, from other people's opinions to uncontrollable circumstances. The Stoics taught that by concentrating on your own actions and attitudes, you reclaim your power. This focus reduces stress and empowers you to take meaningful action, making you more effective and resilient than those who are consumed by external factors. Patience is another Stoic virtue that sets you apart. In a world that often values instant results, the ability to delay gratification and remain steady in the pursuit of long-term goals is a rare and powerful skill. Patience doesn't mean passivity, it means trusting the process and continuing to work diligently, even when progress seems slow. This perseverance allows you to achieve what others abandon, turning steady effort into extraordinary results. Another key is the cultivation of humility. While others may seek validation through arrogance or comparison, humility keeps you grounded and open to growth. The Stoics understood that true strength comes not from boasting, but from a quiet confidence in your values and abilities. Humility allows you to learn from others, acknowledge your mistakes, and continue improving. This mindset not only earns respect, but also builds a foundation for lasting success. The ability to reframe challenges is another Stoic skill that empowers you to rise above difficulties. Instead of seeing obstacles as setbacks, the Stoics viewed them as opportunities to practice virtues like courage, perseverance, and creativity. This perspective transforms adversity into a teacher, helping you grow stronger and wiser with each challenge. While others may be defeated by setbacks, you learn to see them as stepping stones to success. Another powerful principle is the commitment to lifelong learning. The Stoics believed that wisdom is not a destination, but a continuous journey. By remaining curious and open to new knowledge, you keep your mind sharp and adaptable. This dedication to growth sets you apart, as it allows you to constantly improve and stay ahead in a world that is always changing. Learning doesn't just expand your skills, it deepens your understanding of yourself and the world around you. Resilience is another key to surpassing others. The Stoics understood that life is filled with challenges, and the ability to endure and bounce back is essential for success. Resilience is not just about surviving difficulties, but about thriving through them. By cultivating inner strength and maintaining perspective, you can navigate hardships with grace and emerge stronger on the other side. This resilience inspires others and reinforces your belief in your own capabilities. The Stoics emphasize the importance of living with integrity. While others may compromise their values for short-term gains, those who remain true to their principles build a foundation of trust and respect. Integrity is not just about honesty, it's about consistency between your words and actions. Living with integrity gives you a sense of inner peace and confidence, knowing that your success is built on a solid foundation rather than fleeting advantages. These Stoic keys are not about competing with others, but about becoming the best version of yourself. By mastering these principles, you create a life of purpose, resilience, and fulfillment. While others may chase temporary rewards, you build a legacy of strength and wisdom, rising above challenges with clarity and grace. This path is not always easy, but it is deeply rewarding, offering a way to overcome obstacles and achieve lasting success. Mastering the Stoic keys unlocks a path to strength and resilience, offering a framework for rising above challenges. Yet, true wisdom lies not just in achieving success, but in simplifying life to eliminate unnecessary complications. Complications, whether they stem from overthinking, misplaced priorities, or the pursuit of things that don't truly matter, create noise that distorts clarity and disrupts peace. The Stoics believe that simplicity is the foundation of a life well lived, and their lessons offer profound insights into creating a life free from unnecessary burdens. Living without complications begins with clarity of purpose. The Stoics emphasized knowing what truly matters and directing your energy toward it. Many complications arise from chasing too many goals at once, often ones imposed by societal expectations rather than personal values. When you define your purpose, you eliminate distractions and focus on what aligns with your core beliefs. This alignment doesn't just simplify life, it brings a sense of fulfillment and direction. Another principle that leads to simplicity is learning to let go of what you cannot control. Complications often arise when you try to manage outcomes or control external circumstances. The Stoics taught that peace comes from focusing only on your actions and responses. This shift liberates you from the emotional weight of uncontrollable events, creating mental space to focus on what truly matters. Letting go is not about giving up. It's about releasing the futile effort of trying to control the uncontrollable. Simplicity also involves practicing gratitude. Complications often stem from a sense of lack, the belief that you need more to be happy or successful. Gratitude shifts your focus from what you don't have to what you already possess. This perspective reduces the desire for excess and fosters contentment, simplifying your approach to life. When you appreciate the abundance in simplicity, you realize that peace isn't found in accumulation, but in valuing what truly matters. Another essential lesson is the art of saying no. Overcommitment creates unnecessary complications, leaving you stretched too thin to focus on what's important. The Stoics valued boundaries, recognizing that your time and energy are limited resources. Saying no to what doesn't align with your values allows you to say yes to what does. This practice simplifies your schedule and your mind, reducing stress and fostering a sense of control over your life. The practice of mindfulness also contributes to a simpler life. Complications often arise from overthinking or dwelling on past mistakes and future worries. The Stoics emphasized the importance of staying present, engaging fully with the moment at hand. This focus not only reduces mental clutter, but also enhances your ability to respond effectively to challenges. A mindful approach helps you navigate life with clarity and calm, free from the weight of unnecessary distractions. Simplicity requires self-awareness, an honest understanding of what truly brings you peace and fulfillment. The Stoics encouraged self-reflection as a way to identify the habits, beliefs, and relationships that add value to your life and those that detract from it. By aligning your actions with your values, you create a life that feels authentic and manageable. This self-awareness fosters inner peace, as you no longer waste energy on pursuits that don't serve your well-being. Another Stoic lesson is the importance of detachment. Complications often arise from attaching your happiness to external factors, such as possessions, achievements, or the opinions of others. Detachment doesn't mean indifference. It means finding your sense of worth within yourself, rather than in external validation. This mindset reduces anxiety and fosters a sense of freedom, allowing you to navigate life's complexities with grace and balance. The Stoics also valued simplicity in relationships. They taught that quality matters more than quantity and encouraged nurturing meaningful connections while letting go of relationships that drain your energy. Complicated relationships often stem from unclear boundaries or mismatched values. By fostering connections based on mutual respect and authenticity, you create a supportive and enriching social circle that simplifies rather than complicates your life. Another way to reduce complications is through the practice of minimalism. This doesn't mean owning as little as possible, but being intentional about what you allow into your life. The Stoics understood that excess often leads to distraction and dissatisfaction. By focusing on what truly adds value, whether it's possessions, commitments, or activities, you create a life that feels both lighter and more meaningful. Simplicity also involves embracing imperfection. Many complications arise from the pursuit of perfection, whether in yourself, others, or your circumstances. The Stoics viewed imperfection as a natural part of life, encouraging acceptance rather than resistance. By letting go of the need for everything to be perfect, you reduce stress and create space for growth and learning. This mindset fosters peace and resilience as you learn to navigate life's challenges with patience and grace. The ability to reframe challenges is another lesson that simplifies life. Complications often feel overwhelming because of the way you perceive them. The Stoics taught that you have the power to interpret events differently, transforming obstacles into opportunities for growth. This perspective not only reduces the emotional weight of difficulties, but also empowers you to approach them with clarity and purpose. The Stoics also emphasized the importance of daily rituals in creating a simpler life. Rituals provide structure and stability, reducing the chaos of decision-making and fostering a sense of control. Whether it's a morning routine, an evening reflection, or a daily practice of gratitude, these rituals anchor you in what matters most. They create a rhythm that simplifies your days and strengthens your ability to navigate life's complexities. Another lesson is the value of living in alignment with nature. The Stoics believed that simplicity is inherent in nature's design, with its rhythms and cycles offering guidance for a harmonious life. By observing and aligning with these natural principles, you find a sense of balance and peace. This connection to nature reminds you of the beauty in simplicity and the wisdom of letting go of unnecessary complexities. Self-compassion is another key to a life without complications. Complications often arise from self-criticism and unrealistic expectations. By treating yourself with kindness and understanding, you reduce the internal conflict that complicates your mind. This compassion fosters resilience and creates a sense of inner peace, allowing you to approach challenges with confidence and clarity. The Stoics also taught the importance of focusing on virtues rather than outcomes. Complications often stem from chasing results that are beyond your control. By redirecting your focus to living with courage, kindness, and integrity, you simplify your approach to life. This shift not only reduces stress, but also fosters a sense of fulfillment as your actions align with your values. The Stoics emphasized the power of presence. Complications often arise from being pulled in too many directions, whether by external demands or internal distractions. By grounding yourself in the present moment, you find clarity and peace. Presence allows you to fully engage with what's in front of you, reducing the noise and creating a life that feels purposeful and manageable. These lessons offer a roadmap to a life free from unnecessary burdens. By embracing simplicity in thought, action, and relationships, you create a foundation for peace and fulfillment. This approach doesn't mean avoiding challenges, but facing them with clarity and resilience, guided by the wisdom of the Stoics. A life without complications is not about doing less. It's about focusing on what truly matters and letting go of what doesn't. Simplifying life clears the path to deeper peace, yet simplicity alone is not the final destination. The Stoics understood that a truly fulfilled existence requires intentional living, a harmony between clarity and purpose. Happiness, for them, was not found in fleeting pleasures or material wealth, but in living a life aligned with virtues and inner tranquility. Their wisdom outlines timeless truths that serve as a foundation for a happy life, offering practical tools to navigate both joy and hardship with grace. Happiness begins with understanding that it is a byproduct of inner alignment rather than external achievement. The Stoics taught that chasing happiness directly often leads to dissatisfaction because external pursuits are subject to change and loss. Instead, happiness arises naturally when you focus on living in accordance with your values. By prioritizing virtues such as courage, patience, and honesty, you create a stable inner foundation that remains unshaken by external events. Gratitude is another essential element of a happy life. When you cultivate gratitude, you shift your focus from what you lack to what you already have. This perspective not only fosters contentment, but also reduces the endless cycle of wanting more. The Stoics believed in appreciating even the simplest aspects of life, recognizing that joy can be found in the ordinary moments often overlooked. Gratitude anchors you in the present, reminding you that happiness is not about acquiring, but about appreciating. Another truth about happiness is the importance of managing expectations. Much of life's frustration comes from expecting events or people to align with your desires. The Stoics encouraged letting go of rigid expectations and embracing life as it unfolds. By accepting reality rather than resisting it, you free yourself from unnecessary disappointment. This mindset doesn't mean settling for less, but finding peace in the process rather than clinging to specific outcomes. Self-awareness is another cornerstone of a happy life. The Stoics emphasized the importance of understanding your thoughts, emotions, and motivations. This awareness allows you to identify what truly brings you joy and what drains your energy. By aligning your actions with your authentic self, you create a sense of fulfillment that external achievements can't replicate. Self-awareness fosters a deeper connection with yourself, helping you navigate life with clarity and confidence. Happiness also requires a sense of purpose. The Stoics believed that living with intention gives meaning to your actions and resilience in the face of challenges. Purpose doesn't have to be grand. It can be as simple as contributing to your community or pursuing personal growth. What matters is that your actions align with your values and reflect your unique contribution to the world. Purpose provides a guiding light, helping you stay grounded even when circumstances are difficult. Another truth is that happiness is rooted in simplicity. Complexity often leads to stress and distraction, pulling you away from what truly matters. The Stoics taught that by simplifying your desires, relationships, and commitments, you create space for joy and peace. A simpler life doesn't mean doing less, but focusing on what adds genuine value, reducing the noise that complicates your experience. Resilience is also key to a happy life. Challenges and setbacks are inevitable, but your ability to navigate them shapes your overall sense of well-being. The Stoics viewed adversity as an opportunity for growth, a chance to practice virtues like courage and patience. By reframing difficulties as lessons rather than obstacles, you build inner strength and maintain happiness even in tough times. Resilience is not about avoiding hardship, but embracing it with grace. Connection is another vital aspect of happiness. The Stoics believed in fostering meaningful relationships based on mutual respect and authenticity. Superficial connections may provide temporary enjoyment, but deeper bonds create lasting joy and support. By investing in relationships that align with your values, you enrich your life and the lives of those around you. Connection also reminds you that happiness is not just about self-fulfillment, but about contributing to the well-being of others. Detachment is another Stoic lesson for happiness. Attaching your sense of worth to external factors, such as possessions or achievements, creates vulnerability to loss and disappointment. Detachment doesn't mean indifference. It means recognizing that your happiness comes from within. By letting go of the need for external validation, you free yourself from unnecessary stress and create space for genuine peace. Mindfulness is another practice that fosters happiness. The Stoics encouraged being fully present, engaging with life's moments rather than rushing through them. Mindfulness enhances your ability to savor experiences, from a conversation with a friend to a quiet walk in nature. This presence not only deepens your appreciation for life, but also reduces the mental clutter that often clouds happiness. The practice of self-compassion is also essential. The Stoics recognize that being overly critical of yourself creates unnecessary suffering. Treating yourself with kindness and understanding fosters inner peace and resilience. Self-compassion doesn't mean avoiding responsibility, but approaching your growth with patience and care. This practice allows you to navigate life's challenges without being weighed down by harsh self-judgment. Living with integrity is another Stoic principle for happiness. When your actions align with your values, you create a sense of harmony within yourself. Integrity builds trust in your relationships and fosters a sense of pride in how you live. This alignment reduces inner conflict, as you no longer feel pulled in conflicting directions. Integrity provides a stable foundation for happiness, as it reflects your true self rather than external expectations. The Stoics taught that happiness is enhanced by contributing to the greater good. Acts of kindness, generosity and service not only benefit others, but also enrich your own life. When you focus on how you can positively impact the world, you create a sense of purpose and connection that deepens your fulfillment. Contribution reminds you that happiness is not just about personal gain, but about being part of something larger than yourself. These lessons from Stoicism provide a timeless guide to a happy life. By cultivating gratitude, aligning with your values, and embracing simplicity, you create a foundation for lasting joy. Happiness is not about avoiding challenges, but navigating them with resilience and purpose. The Stoic path is one of intentional living, where each moment becomes an opportunity to grow, connect, and thrive. Happiness often begins with the clarity and fulfillment that come from living intentionally and contributing to the world around you. Yet the foundation for all meaningful progress lies in turning inward. Focusing on yourself is not selfish. It is the first step toward becoming the person capable of positively impacting the lives of others. The Stoics understood that self-improvement is a lifelong journey, a path that leads not only to personal growth but also to a deeper sense of purpose and inner peace. Focusing on yourself starts with self-awareness. The Stoics believed that understanding your thoughts, emotions, and behaviors is essential for personal growth. This awareness allows you to identify patterns that no longer serve you and replace them with habits that align with your values. Self-awareness also fosters a deeper connection with your authentic self, helping you navigate life with clarity and confidence. Setting boundaries is a crucial part of focusing on yourself. Many people spread themselves too thin, saying yes to every demand at the expense of their own well-being. The Stoics taught that your energy and time are finite resources, and protecting them is essential for personal growth. By setting clear boundaries, you create space to focus on your priorities and cultivate the habits and skills that lead to a more fulfilling life. Prioritizing self-care is another important step. The Stoics valued the balance between mind, body, and spirit, recognizing that neglecting one aspect of yourself impacts the whole. Self-care is not indulgence, but maintenance, the foundation that supports your ability to thrive. Whether it's through exercise, mindfulness, or restful sleep, caring for yourself ensures that you have the energy and resilience to pursue your goals. Focusing on yourself also involves taking responsibility for your life. The Stoics emphasized that while you cannot control external events, you have full control over your actions and attitudes. Taking responsibility means owning your decisions and their consequences, rather than blaming circumstances or others. This accountability empowers you to make changes where needed, fostering a sense of agency and self-respect. The practice of mindfulness is another cornerstone of self-focus. Many people live on autopilot, disconnected from their thoughts and actions. The Stoics encouraged staying present, engaging fully with each moment. Mindfulness not only deepens your understanding of yourself, but also enhances your ability to make intentional choices. By being fully present, you cultivate a sense of calm and clarity that supports your growth. Developing resilience is also essential for self-improvement. Life's challenges can either break you or build you, depending on how you approach them. The Stoics viewed adversity as an opportunity for growth, a chance to practice virtues like courage, patience, and determination. By embracing challenges rather than avoiding them, you build the inner strength needed to overcome obstacles and reach your potential. Focusing on yourself also means aligning your actions with your values. The Stoics believed that living in harmony with your principles creates a sense of peace and fulfillment. When your actions reflect what you stand for, you experience a sense of integrity and self-respect. This alignment not only fosters personal growth, but also inspires trust and connection with others. Another aspect of self-improvement is the pursuit of knowledge. The Stoics valued lifelong learning as a way to expand the mind and deepen understanding. By seeking wisdom through books, experiences, and conversations, you equip yourself with the tools needed to navigate life effectively. This commitment to growth ensures that you are constantly evolving and adapting to new challenges. Self-compassion is also a vital part of focusing on yourself. The Stoics recognized that harsh self-criticism creates unnecessary suffering and hinders growth. Treating yourself with kindness and understanding fosters resilience and encourages progress. Self-compassion doesn't mean avoiding responsibility, but approaching your shortcomings with patience and care, recognizing that growth is a process. Letting go of comparison is another Stoic lesson for self-improvement. Many people measure their worth against others, creating unnecessary stress and dissatisfaction. The Stoics taught that your journey is unique, and comparing yourself to others distracts you from your own growth. By focusing on your progress rather than others' achievements, you free yourself from the burden of comparison and create space for genuine self-discovery. Gratitude also plays a role in focusing on yourself. While self-improvement often involves striving for more, gratitude reminds you to appreciate how far you've come. This balance between ambition and contentment fosters a sense of peace, helping you stay grounded while pursuing your goals. Gratitude also shifts your perspective, reducing feelings of lack and enhancing your sense of abundance. The practice of reflection is another powerful tool for self-focus. Taking time to evaluate your actions, thoughts, and decisions helps you identify areas for improvement and celebrate your successes. Reflection fosters self-awareness and accountability, creating a cycle of continuous growth. This practice ensures that you remain aligned with your values and responsive to life's changes. Focusing on yourself also involves simplifying your life. The Stoics believed that complexity often distracts from what truly matters. By letting go of unnecessary commitments, possessions, or expectations, you create space to focus on your priorities. This simplicity not only reduces stress, but also enhances your ability to grow and thrive. Another lesson from the Stoics is the importance of self-discipline. Personal growth requires consistent effort and the ability to act in alignment with your goals, even when it's difficult. Discipline strengthens your character, allowing you to stay focused on what truly matters. This commitment to growth ensures that you continue to evolve, even in the face of challenges. Resisting external validation is also essential for focusing on yourself. The Stoics taught that true fulfillment comes from within, not from others' opinions or approval. By letting go of the need for validation, you free yourself from the pressure to conform and create space for authentic self-expression. This independence fosters confidence and allows you to pursue your goals without distraction. The Stoics also emphasize the importance of intentional living. Many people drift through life without a clear sense of direction, reacting to circumstances rather than creating their path. Intentional living means setting meaningful goals and taking deliberate steps to achieve them. This focus not only enhances your sense of purpose, but also ensures that your actions reflect your values. Another aspect of self-focus is embracing imperfection. The Stoics recognized that striving for perfection often leads to frustration and paralysis. Accepting that growth is a journey, not a destination, allows you to approach self-improvement with patience and resilience. This mindset fosters progress rather than perfection, helping you move forward even when the path is challenging. Connection with nature is also a source of inspiration for focusing on yourself. The Stoics believed that observing the simplicity and harmony of the natural world can provide guidance for your own life. Spending time in nature fosters a sense of peace and perspective, reminding you of the beauty in simplicity and the wisdom in letting go of unnecessary complexities. Focusing on yourself doesn't mean isolating yourself from others. It means creating a strong foundation from which you can contribute to the world. The Stoics believed that personal growth enhances your ability to serve and connect with others. By improving yourself, you not only enrich your own life, but also positively impact those around you. These lessons from Stoicism provide a roadmap for self-improvement. By cultivating self-awareness, resilience, and discipline, you create a foundation for lasting growth and fulfillment. Focusing on yourself is not about selfishness. It's about becoming the best version of yourself so that you can live a life of purpose, peace, and impact. This journey requires patience and persistence, but the rewards are profound. A life that reflects your values, fulfills your potential, and inspires those around you. As we conclude this journey into the art of calming your mind through Stoicism, it's clear that the keys to inner peace lie not in external achievements, but in mastering the self. By focusing on the present, detaching from what you cannot control, embracing gratitude, and cultivating resilience, you create a life that is both grounded and purposeful. Each lesson, whether about setting boundaries, practicing intentional solitude, or transforming fear, reveals the power of clarity and intention in shaping a tranquil mind. In a world of noise and chaos, these principles offer a timeless path to calm, strength, and fulfillment. Now, it's your turn to reflect. What resonated with you most? Was it the practice of mindfulness, the art of letting go, or the power of gratitude? Share your thoughts in the comments. We'd love to hear your perspective. If you found this guide valuable, don't keep it to yourself. Subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications to join our growing community of seekers dedicated to mastering life's challenges with Stoic wisdom. Together, we'll continue exploring ways to live with peace, purpose, and resilience.